The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Hello? Who? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Excuse me? Luke, please turn down the sound.
Sure, boy, he can't have no privacy in his own home.
It don't make much difference, Grandpa. We've seen this picture so many times, we don't need to listen to the gunshots.
Hello? Oh, hi, Paula. No, I didn't. You did? They didn't! They are? Oh, no, they couldn't. Oh, they wouldn't. That's the positive end. Why? Oh, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Anything wrong, Hash?
Of all things, Alpha, Beta, Sigma.
Alpha, Beta, who?
Oh, that's a sorority, Grandpa. Paula Hecker and I, well, they're rushing us.
Well, in a hurry for?
No, Grandpa. It's one of them clubs at school, ain't it, Hassie?
Club?
It's Paula Hecker you mentioned. Is she any kin to the manager of the bank in town?
Oh, he's her father. Only he's not the manager, he's the president. Oh, and Barbara Lydell, the rush chairman, she's the mayor's niece.
Well, say, they sound like the kind of girls that make nice friends. You know, it might be a good idea to join the thing.
Oh, well, Luke, just because I'm being rushed, well, doesn't mean that they have to accept me.
Accept you? Well, it should be the other way around. Why, back in West Virginia, any social circle didn't have McCoy in the middle. They weren't much better than a wolf pack.
Luke?
Yeah?
Luke, I just can't find a thing to wear. Do you think Kate'd mind if I borrowed her white cardigan?
Well, gee, she ain't wore it herself yet.
I'll take good care of it.
Yes, has that got to do with that Greek thing?
Well, it does.
Well, if you're going to get all gussied up, what's the matter with that polka dot dress of your own?
That old thing? Oh, that's strictly Weirdsville.
Well, now, just hold on a minute here, Miss High and Mighty. You didn't say that when Kate made it for you.
That was last semester. I've changed since then.
Yeah, but not but what letting out a couple of seams couldn't fix.
Grandpa. Please, Luke, I've just got to wear a white sweater. Why, with the Alpha Betas, it's practically a uniform.
Well, I suppose you can wear it just this once, but take good care of it.
I will.
Well, Hash, see, I meant to tell you, that stove is getting kind of messed up. Would you give it a good clean when you get home?
And ruin my manicure?
You hear that, Luke? And ruin my manicure?
Well, don't let it get under your skin, Grandpa. Hassie's in just kind of a mood here with this sorority stuff. Well, we better get outside and get them hogs slopped.
Okay, but it's going to take all the polish off of my nails.
Señor Grandpa! ¡Ay, Chihuahua, usted tiene cuenta, muchacha! Señor Grandpa, look, wait till you see Hassie. You've never seen anything like this before.
What are you talking about, Rufino?
There ain't nothing wrong, is he?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
Jumping hard toads. What's happened to you?
Ain't you a little too old to be getting in a fight?
Yeah, who messed up your hair like that?
Oh, good heavens. Try to get a compliment around here.
Well, is it supposed to look like that?
Of course. It's a bouffant beehive. And it just happens to be the very latest thing from Paris, France.
How'd they ever let it through custom?
Must have smuggled it in.
Well, it's the new look. Doesn't anybody like it?
I think I like it, Hassie. It's just that it's very different.
That's the whole idea. Armand at the beauty shop says I'm the very first one to have it.
Beauty shop? You mean to say you spend good money for a get-up like that?
Only $3.50. I took it out of the money I saved.
Well, if that don't beat Harry, spending money for something you could have done yourself by sticking your head into an electric fan.
Now, look, Hass, we didn't mean to get you all worked up. It's just that all this is a little new to us. Now, you already spent the money, so let's just forget it.
All the alpha betas get their hair done at that beauty shop. Why should I be any different?
Because you're McCoy, that's why. And McCoy women has always been known as what you might call do-it-yourself beauties.
I should have known you'd say that. Do-it-yourself dresses, do-it-yourself hairdos. I could be a real creep, and you wouldn't care just so I did it myself.
Now, what's wrong there?
Senor Grandpa, when it comes to fixing the hair, women are very touchy.
But Hass, you don't have to do all that stuff to look pretty.
You know, I was just thinking, maybe it ain't what Hassie is that's important. It's what she thinks she ain't.
Come again, Luke?
I see what Senor Luke means.
You do?
See? Hassie thinks she needs all this to get into the club.
So instead of picking on her, it might be that we ought to try to help her.
I agree.
Well, I'm willing to help if you say so, Luke. But all this cashmere sweater business and that crazy hairdo, I don't know.
Oh, well, ain't nothing so unusual about that. I remember when you was up for membership in the Mystic Order of the Nile. You not only slicked your hair down with all that goo, you even borrowed my red tie to top it all off.
Well, that was different, Luke. Seeing as how I was a fashion plate, I sort of had a reputation to keep up.
But you needn't have bothered. I could have taken the school bus.
No bother, Hassie. If you'd only mentioned where you lived, I could have been driving you home all semester.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Hassie, is that a Model A Ford?
I guess so. I never really paid too much attention to it. Why?
Oh, well, my father was telling me about a Model A he had in college. Oh, I bet he'd love to take a spin in that. Is it yours?
Well, not exactly. What I mean is that, well, it belongs to one of the hired hands. That's Grandpa. He likes to fool around with old cars. It's his hobby.
Afternoon, girl.
Good afternoon. Grandpa, you've heard me speak of Paula Hecker, and this is Susan Prentice.
Hello. Hi.
Susan is president of Alpha Beta Sigma.
Well, now, up till now, the biggest political figure we ever had around here was Alderman Fenton.
Grandpa's always making little jokes like that. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Wait, ain't you going to invite your friends inside?
Well, Grandpa, it's late, and,
Look, why don't you leave the girls speak to the shafts? The way you act, your body thinks that you was trying to get rid of them.
Oh, well, it's not that. Hassie knows we wanted to get our homework done before dinner. Yes, or maybe some other time, Mr. McCoy.
Some other time, huh? Well, is anything wrong with Sunday afternoon?
Grandpa, please, the girls wouldn't be interested in the farm.
What do you mean they wouldn't be interested in farms? Why, there ain't nothing more interesting in the world than farms. What do you think this country is built on? Farms, that's what.
Guess I never thought of it that way, Mr. McCoy. Mr. McCoy, you've got a date.
Well, fine. Hey, say, that invite goes for any other girlfriends you want to bring along with you. We'll have us a barbecue.
That sounds swell. Well, we'll see you Sunday. Bye, Mr. McCoy.
Well, we'll be waiting on you.
Bye. Grandpa, why'd you do it? I'm so embarrassed I could cry.
Why, heck, just 'cause I invited them instead of you? Well, it's still all in the family.
Grandpa, you don't understand. Those girls, they live in town. What are they going to think when they really see this place?
Well, Hash, this ain't no time to be modest. What's the good of having all these advantages we got unless we can share them with our friends? You see, the secret of milking is keeping time. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Sort of like dancing the old two-step.
I wonder if anyone ever tried it to the cha-cha-cha. Maybe something new.
Oh, I thought most milking was done by machines these days.
Yes.
Well, I reckon most of it is. But old Bess here, well, she's kind of ticklish. And then again, I sort of like to keep my hand in the business.
It's just another one of Grandpa's hobbies. Actually, the help does most of the real work around here. Let's go watch Mr. McCoy.
Look at them.
Girls. I was working on the bill of fare for supper, and how's these for a couple of starters?
Oh, Grandpa, why'd you have to go and pick them puny ones?
You mean you grow them even bigger?
Oh, sure. But they call them watermelons. And now for a barbecue, I figure we start out with, say, a fruit salad, and then the main dish will have chicken and vegetables, and how about a baked potato?
Oh, sounds wonderful.
And we'll top it off with a watermelon. So you see, girls, you got a lot of picking to do.
What? Grandpa, you couldn't expect them to pick their own meal.
Well, what's wrong with that, Hash?
They're our guests.
Well, the secret of real hospitality is make your guests feel like there's one of the family. And you know, in this house, if you want to eat, you got to pick. Come on, girls.
Okay. This is going to be fun.
Come on, Hass. Friends of yours is having more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
I think it's disgusting. Making them work like peasants.
Well, they ain't doing nothing that we don't have to all year round. Grandpa explained them that.
That's just it. Couldn't he have waited till after I was in the club? And now I can just imagine what they're thinking.
Oh, they're probably envying you to beat all get out.
Yeah, sure. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I'm just lucky we're not having hamburgers. Grandpa probably would have asked him to butcher the meat.
Now, Hassie, you know on special occasions we always barbecue chicken. Look yonder.
Oh, no. Not Barbara. She's chairman of the membership committee.
You know, Grandpa, after that barbecue yesterday, it's going to take me a few days to get my appetite back again.
You sure stashed it away, Luke.
Yeah, I guess everybody did.
Yeah. Say, you know, it's amazing the way them city girls took the farm. You think every one of them was born to it.
Yeah, everybody except Hassie. She acted like the only city girl in the whole bunch.
Yeah, well, I think Hassie's probably used to it, you know. Who's there?
It's me.
No time? Hey, come here, Hass. What you doing home this time of day? You ain't out of school for 3 hours yet.
I didn't feel very well.
What, Hass? You ain't got a fever, have you?
No.
What's wrong?
It's the Alphas. They blackballed me.
They done what?
They turned me down. They took in Paula, but they didn't want me.
Well, I wouldn't feel so bad, Hass. It ain't the end of the world, you know.
It's all Grandpa's fault.
Me? What'd I do?
Everything was going just fine till you invited him out here. Oh, I knew once they saw the way we lived. I knew I wouldn't be good enough for them. I wish I was dead.
She didn't mean that, Grandpa.
She never talked that way before, Luke.
No, it just kind of slipped out.
Now, Luke, look, I've been willing to go along with this business of trying to help Hassie like you and Peppina said, but it just ain't worked out. So I'm going to do things my way. Now, you stop this whimpering. I want to talk to you.
I want to be alone.
I'm sick and tired of what you want to be. You want to be alone. You want to be dead. You want to be something you ain't.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Well, you don't have to, because I'm going to do the talking. Now, you got to forget about this club and all this fancy stuff that's going on around here and get yourself back to earth again.
Grandpa, I don't feel very well.
And I'm sick and tired of you making believe you're the Queen of Sheba.
But you don't understand.
I understand that any girl who won't clean a stove for fear of ruining a manicure ain't like no other McCoy woman.
But, Grandpa...
And I understand that when you put on airs that ain't natural to you, you're only going to lead yourself into being miserable. Now, look, Hassie, if them girls don't figure you're good enough for them the way you are, then they ain't worth having as friends. Because believe me, you don't have to make believe you're nothing for nobody. Because I think you're just fine the way you are. Good afternoon, girls.
How are you, Mr. McCoy?
Well, I'm just fine, but Hassie ain't so good, though. Say, you kids sure done a good job on her.
Mr. McCoy, we didn't want to blackball her, honest.
Oh?
It's just that, well, after we rushed her, we began to see that it wouldn't work out.
In other words, she wasn't good enough because she couldn't have the fancy clothes the rest of you kids wear and didn't have a rich family to buy them for her?
Oh, but that's got nothing to do with it.
Mr. McCoy, you're not being fair.
Well, what do you spoiled kids know about being fair? Do you think it was fair for you to lead Hassie on and get her to dress like you and act like you and even think like you until she got to be a stranger to a whole family?
Mr. McCoy, can we say something?
Well, I ain't stopping you.
Well, in the first place, all the alpha betas don't come from rich families, especially me.
Well, the mayor's your uncle, ain't he?
Oh, he is. But my father works in the Valley Surplus store.
Oh.
So you see, it isn't what a girl has that counts. It's the kind of a person she is. Well, that's why we picked Hassie in the first place.
Well, what made you change your mind, then?
Hassie did. When she started acting like
The Queen of Sheba?
Well, something like that, I suppose.
We're really sorry, Mr. McCoy.
Say, I wonder if you girls would be kind enough to come out of the house for maybe a few minutes.
Well, I think it would be, very,
embarrassing for everybody.
Well, now, you'd be doing a great favor for a tired old man.
Well, all right, Mr. McCoy.
Oh, Hassie?
Yes, Grandpa?
Is some girlfriends of yours here? Go right ahead.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Susan.
Hello, Hassie.
Hey, Susan and Bobby wanted to come over and see you. Well, that ain't exactly the way it was, but here he is. I just remembered I got something to do outside.
Look, girls, I don't know what this is all about, but I'm in the middle of cleaning a stove. It's one of my jobs around here. And I don't own a cashmere sweater. And I can't afford to have my hair done at the beauty parlor every week.
But, Hassie, that's not really a...
Look, let's face it, I don't fit in with your crowd. Hassie, if you just let us... And that car you saw? It's not a hobby. My grandfather's owned it for 20 years. And he'll probably own it for another 20.
Well, all I can say is you got a lot of nerve taking things in your own hands like this.
Well, now, Luke, they've been in there over 10 minutes. Maybe something good's happening.
Yeah, like making Hassie cry again.
Don't yell at me like that, Luke. I'm a tired old man.
Yo, stop that baloney.
You don't hear no fireworks, Luke.
Grandpa, I've been asked to join the Alpha Betas. Everything's straightened out. That's right.
Well, what do you know?
Thanks to you, Mr. McCoy. She'll get her pin tomorrow.
Yeah, well, now I'm rightly proud Hassie's going to have you two girls for friends.
Thank you. Come on, let's finish up here.
Ain't that something? 1 minute they're having a spat, and the next minute they're working their heads off together.
Yeah.
Wonder when they're going to have the next spat.
What?
The barn's going to need paint, you know.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Here's some more, Grandpa.
Yeah, put it right down the pile there, Luke.
Yep, there's socks with holes in them and shirts that needs buttons.
Yeah, that's good, good.
Senor Grandpa, I picked some special wild petunias for Senora Kate.
Oh, she'd really appreciate that. You put that over there.
Are you sending all these clothes to the charity house?
No, these are prime garments. We're getting them out because Kate's coming home.
In my country, when somebody's been away for a while, we welcome them back home with candy and flowers and maybe a big fiesta. We can present them with socks.
This will be a blessing to Kate, getting back in the harness. Doing the mending and everything.
Senor Grandpa, don't you think they should be here by now?
Well, I don't know. Luke's probably taking it easy. And then he can get a lot of traffic on that Bakersfield Road, you know.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi, Hash.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Bob Creel. This is my grandpa, Mr. McCoy.
How do you do, sir?
Right back to you, Bob.
And this is Pepino.
Mr. Pepino?
Mucho gusto.
And that's my brother, Little Luke.
Hi. You gonna marry him, Hassie?
Little Luke.
You take your big mouth and go into your room and close the door on it. You'll have to accept our apologies, Bob. The boy's just at the age where he's all loaded up with these curiosity bumps.
That's all right. Hassie, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay, remember we're going to pick up Barbara and John about 2.
Fine. Nice meeting you, everybody.
It's mutual.
Hasta luego.
What'd you think of him, Grandpa?
Well, his hand was kind of moist, but I guess his sticky boy's better than no boy at all.
Oh, Grandpa.
Can I come out now?
Yeah, but no more of them smarty aleck cracks now.
What's all this stuff for?
Oh, this is fixings for Kate to do.
Oh, gosh, I've got 1,000 things that need mending. I better go get them.
Easy now.
All right.
Hass, would you get the bedroom door for me?
Sure.
Hey, she sure ought to rest for an hour or so after a trip like that.
Oh, Grandpa, she's going to have to take it easy longer than that. That's the one condition the doctor insisted on before he let her come home.
He made me promise I'd stay in bed for another week and get
Yeah.
rest.
I ain't quite 100% yet.
Does it hurt much, Kate?
Oh, he's just a little uncomfortable, Hassie.
Well, now you just get in that bed, then we'll have you out on your feet before you know it.
It sure is good to be home.
It's good to have you home.
We missed you.
Yeah, well, now, come on, everybody. Let her get into bed. The quicker she gets rested, the quicker she's going to be better.
See you later.
sugar babe.
Thank you.
You know, Grandpa, maybe we ought to get somebody to do some real cooking.
We better find somebody fast. Kate's gonna need caring for. Laundry's piling up fast. There's 1,000 things to do. Think of somebody, Grandpa.
Already have thought of someone.
Who?
You, Hass.
Me?
Nobody else but you.
Oh, Grandpa, Bob and I have all sorts of things planned. This is my week off from school.
Well, that's why you've been elected.
I'm no good at cooking and sewing. You'll see.
Now, look, Hass. You're going on 17-year-old. In the next 4 or 5 years, no doubt, get married. It's about time you learn how to take over a house and do a woman's work. And that's what I'm telling you to do right now.
I can learn.
Don't want to hear no more about it. The clothes needs mending's right out there on the table. The food's in the icebox, and you're right up against the stove, so just get going.
Grandpa, are you really going to let her cook?
That's right.
Well, I'm going to get me a jug of water and a box of crackers and live out in the barn.
Grandpa, I ain't so sure we're doing the right thing. You know, when it comes to cooking and sewing and everything, Hassie ain't never quite measured up.
Yeah, Luke, but that's why it's so important that she learn these things. It's for her own good. And she'll do the best she can.
But her cooking...
Luke, not another word. We're all going through this thing if it kills us.
Come here. Get me my scissors over there.
I can't even sew a button on.
Oh, it's not so hard. You go get me some thread and I'll show you.
Grandpa said you were supposed to rest.
Now, don't be silly. A little sewing ain't gonna hurt me. Besides, he don't have to know. Now, you just go get me some thread.
Okay. You're a lifesaver, Kate. Oh, will you show me how to darn a sock, too?
Well, sure.
Oh, hi, Grandpa. How do you like my stew?
Well, it'll be fine as soon as you put the taste into it, but right now it sort of tastes like warm creek water.
Well, it's almost finished. That's it.
Well, Hash, to tell you the truth, it ain't much. Say, why don't you put a little pep in it? You wouldn't want to lose all your customers the first night, now would you?
Show me how to darn. They all had different kinds of holes in them.
I see.
Kate, Grandpa didn't like my stew. He said it tasted like warm creek water.
Well, that's easy enough to fix. Just add a few slices of onion and some garlic.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get them for you.
Now you add some onion.
How much, Kate?
About this much.
Gosh, Kate, I'll never learn.
Just watch me, Hassie. Salt.
You didn't wash them hands very good.
Well, I washed the insides of them.
That ain't enough.
And you don't eat it with the backs of your hands.
Grandpa, look over this sewing job that Hassie done. Look there. Them buttons is on there strong as iron.
Hey, by jingers, that's as good as a big league professional seamster, ain't it?
Yeah. Hope the supper's as good.
Here it comes.
Well, looks mighty good, Hassie.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah, smells real promising.
Dad.
You can't live on promises.
Well, go ahead. Dig in, Luke. You look starved.
You know, it ain't polite to eat before the head of the house.
Well, all right, if you say so.
Well, I tell you, it's terrific.
It's delicious. It's marvelous.
Oh, I forgot the coffee. Excuse me.
Boy, it's real good. It's terrific.
We ain't kidding. No, it is really good, little Luke.
You ain't just saying that for Hassie?
No, go ahead and dig in. Well,
It really is good.
where you going?
To wash my hands.
That is as fine a compliment ever was paid.
I'll tell them. Luke, Mr. McCoy.
Well, what's the verdict, Doctor?
Well, she's coming along just fine, Luke. However, it would be very helpful if she could have some diathermy treatments.
What's that?
Heat tends to relax the muscles.
Well, if that's what she needs, I say full speed ahead.
Well, then I suggest she spend a few days in the hospital. That way it can be done properly.
Oh, no.
Oh, I just hate to go.
Oh, now, look, sugar babe, if that's what the doctor says, you go.
Well, I guess I've got no choice.
There ain't no need to be concerned. Hassie here's turned into a great little cook.
Sure, don't worry none about the house. You should ought to taste the supper this little one got for us last night. Yes, sir. Hassie's learned to handle the responsibilities all by herself, and I'm rightly proud of her.
Couldn't we just postpone it a little bit?
No arguing. Come on, Luke, get her things together.
Wish it was me going to the hospital.
Grandpa!
Oh, here you are. Said you get her all set?
Oh, yeah. They give her a nice room overlooking the park.
Well, that's good.
Oh, did you call that boyfriend of Hassie's, that Bob?
Yeah, I called him. He said he'd be glad to come over to supper.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice surprise for her.
But don't you think we should ought to sort of tell her so she wants to make something special, huh? I'll call her. Hass! Hass!
Yes, Grandpa.
Me and Luke's got a little surprise for you.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, you know, this boyfriend of yours, Bob Sumley, we know that we kind of busted up your date today.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, and we know you kind of wanted to spend a little time with her.
That's wonderful. Well, after all, Kate will be home in a few days, so you won't have to eat out very long. And
Hold it, Hass.
We got a different surprise for you.
We invited your Bob friend over to supper tonight.
you didn't.
Sure did. Why, when he tastes your cooking, you're going to have him hooked like a catfish.
Well, I'm going to call him right up and cancel
Now,
it.
you ain't doing nothing of the kind. An invite is an invite.
I should think you'd be glad to have him over here.
Well, he's got kind of a fussy stomach.
Oh, with your cooking, it don't matter how fussy
Sure,
it is.
he's coming at 6.
Oh, Grandpa.
Well, now, go figure that one out.
Yeah, now, Luke, you know, if she don't watch out, she's going to turn on.
Yeah. Hi, Grandpa.
All right, Luke. How's my tie look?
Oh, let me straighten it for you.
So, you know, it just does my heart good the way she takes a hold of things. I know she had it in her. She's a real McCoy woman.
Yeah, she's a real woman, all right. I gotta agree with you, Grandpa. The only way for a gal to learn how to do things on her own is just by doing them.
What's the matter?
I mashed something in my shoe. Well, I'll be.
What is it?
It's clove of garlic.
Garlic?
Kate's paring knife. And a piece of celery. Well, I know Kate's been eating supper in bed, but the leavings couldn't go right through the mattress. Now, if that don't be no.
Yes. I begin to see. Why, Hassie's all nervied up this afternoon. She's got Kate doing all the work.
But Kate ain't moved. She's been staying right in bed.
But a general don't necessarily run his army from the firing line, you know, Luke.
Well, to think of Hassie sitting back and taking all them compliments for last night's supper.
Yeah. Oh, little Hassie, pulling the stew right over our eyes. It's a big disappointment to me, Luke. Her'll even Kate do all the work, and the worst part of it is her taking credit for it.
I'm going to tell her a thing or two. I'll tell you, that child deserves to be punished.
No, now, Luke. She'll get her punishment without us doing nothing.
What?
Tonight, Kate won't be here to cook the supper. And Hassie's got a very special guest.
I'm hungry.
Oh, Hash.
We were supposed to eat at 6:30. Now it's after 7.
Hassie's doing the best she can, so why don't you just sit and enjoy the company?
Oh, darn.
You need some help, Hassie?
No, I don't.
Does Hassie sound upset to you, Mr. McCoy?
No, likes to be left alone in the kitchen. Why, she's probably enjoying herself no end.
Supper's ready.
Hassie! Holy Toledo!
Hassie, are you all right?
Hey, it looks like you've been wrestling with the pot roast and it won.
If you'll sit down, I'll bring in supper.
All right, Bob, sit yourself down over there in Kate's place to foot of the table.
Yes, sir. Maybe I ought to help Hassie. She doesn't look very well.
No, it's just nerves.
I was just thinking, Bob ain't done us no harm. I don't know if we got a right to put him through a meal like this.
I thought of that, too, Luke. Sit yourself down. Say, Bob, there's a new Chinese restaurant opened up downtown. Maybe we can go down a little later and try her out, huh?
Gee, Mr. McCoy, I don't think I'm going to be hungry.
Don't bet on it, son. Yeah, where do you get a taste of this, Bob?
If it's just half as good as last night's meal.
Well, go ahead. You're the guest.
Oh, thank you. It's delicious, Hassie.
Poor devil's half crazed with hunger. I don't get it. Something went wrong. It's good.
Hassie, you're wonderful.
Oh!
Oh, gosh. All I said was she's wonderful.
I'll handle it, son. It was a darn good meal you made, Ash.
Grandpa, I've got to tell you something.
Oh?
When you were giving me credit for doing everything so well and for taking over the responsibility of the house, it was Kate. It wasn't me.
We know that, Hash.
You know?
Well, sure. As a general rule, Kate ain't in the habit of sleeping with garlic under her bed.
Why didn't you say something?
Well, I think it's better that this way. You say it.
I don't know why I did such an awful thing.
Oh, well, it's all over now.
I just can't do any of those things. I can't cook. I can't sew. I just can't seem to do anything.
Now, simmer down. Simmer down. What do you think them 3 ravinated boys is gobbling up in there?
Well,
A darn fine meal, that's what. You see, you talked yourself into not being able to do it. But you see what happened when the chips was down and your back was against the stove?
You don't hate me?
Of course I don't hate you, honey. Will admit my hackles was up there for a spell, but that's all forgot. Now, come on, let's get back in that dining room where no doubt the compliments is awaiting you galore. I want to get to that meal. We got dessert, ain't we?
Yeah, I made it, but I won't be able to serve it.
Why not?
There's not any dishes left that aren't broken.
Babe.
Thank you, Luke.
Them hospital treatments heavy?
Well, they sure did, Grandpa. The soreness is all gone.
Good.
But I still have to stay in bed for a few days.
You do whatever the doctor says.
You say Hassie did fine?
You wouldn't have believed it.
Oh, she was a real joy.
But who's gonna...
Oh, stop worrying. We got everything all worked out.
But I mean, with Hassie going back to school and all.
I'm doing the cooking.
You, Grandpa?
Yes, sir. I got a sauce on the stove right now. This have to be the biggest bombshell that ever hit the world of spaghetti.
We've had it on for 2 hours already.
Yeah, and say, I better go see it right now.
Why don't you try to take a nap?
All right, Luke. I hope I'll be up and around in a few days.
Well, I'll try to let you sleep right through to supper.
I'll try.
Grandpa, I'm going to feed the chickens.
Okay, Luke.
Yes?
Can I see a minute, Kate?
Come in, Grandpa.
I tasted it. The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Six, 7, 8,
9. Well, Grandpa, there's supposed to be 110. There's $1 missing.
It ain't missing, Luke. I just counted it wrong, is all.
Oh, no, you didn't, Grandpa. I was watching.
Well, now, $1 don't just get up and walk out by itself. It was in the 80s there when I speeded it up. That must have been where I made the mistake.
Grandpa, I was counting right along with you. There's only 109.
All right, Luke, I'll count it slow and easy myself again. There, see, it ain't missing. That's 110. Get me a couple of rubber bands here, will you, Luke? And next week, we make our last payment on the tractor.
And it'll be ours free and clear.
You know something, Grandpa? That's a whole lot of money. I ain't so sure that the cookie jar's the safest place.
Well, now, it's where we always keep it, ain't it?
But we never had that much before, Grandpa.
Well, what's the matter with keeping the money in the cookie jar?
Well, let me put it this way. The bank don't keep cookies in their safe.
The bank? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, I'd sleep a whole lot better if I knew that money was in the bank.
Not me. I wouldn't sleep a wink. Say, what makes you think a bank is so goddamn safe anyways? Why, my Uncle Luther had a cousin that lost his whole life savings in the bank. Almost $300.
Well, how'd you do that?
Engine raid. A Apache war party come in and burned the whole goddamn town down, including the bank.
Well, I say it's less worrisome keeping the money in the bank than here in the cookie jar.
Grandpa Luke's right. If a thief was to break in here, we'd lose the money for sure. And the tractor.
All right. If everybody wants to make such a goddamn fuss about it, I'll take it to the bank. What you gonna do with that?
Something we've never done before. Put cookies in it.
Where's the manager? Thank you.
Oh, yes, something I can do for you?
Yeah, I was thinking of putting some money in your bank.
I see a new account.
Well, it is if I open it, and I ain't made up my mind yet.
Yeah, well, you step over that window there. Mr. Farrell takes care of the new accounts.
Well, you're the manager, ain't you?
First vice president.
well, now. Yeah, when I'm dealing in big money, I always like to talk to the top man.
I see. Won't you come in?
Well, thank you.
Now then, Mr.
McCoy, Amos McCoy.
Yes, Mr. McCoy, how much were you planning on depositing with us?
$110. Surprise, huh?
We'll have to fill out a few forms. I may have
Well,
to hear
now
my
wait a
best.
minute. I ain't said I was going to put the money in yet.
Well, then, why don't you go away and come back when you've decided? How's that?
Well, I can't decide till I ask you some questions. Now, when they take my money, what happens to it?
Well, we put it in the vault with the rest of the money, naturally.
You mean my money gets mixed up with everybody else's?
Oh, yes, I want to check this loan. Let's see, $50,000.
You see, I don't like my money tossed in with every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
$1,000 loan would be...
I want my money kept separately so everybody knows where it's at.
Mr. McCoy, please.
Say, do you want my business or don't you?
We'd love to have your business.
You gotta fight for it just like anything else.
Put this through, please. Now, are you ready to sign or what?
Well, now, look, just for the sake of argument, say I let you put my money in the vault. What happens to it then?
We lend it.
My money?
Mr. McCoy, how else do you think a bank makes money?
Well, I got my own ideas on that. Just like to hear yours.
Hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Morrissey. We were just processing your loan. Probably tomorrow.
Say, is that Ed Morrissey?
Yes. Just as we talked about it.
Say, I hope you ain't lending him money. Ed Morrissey's a deadbeat.
Just a moment, Mr.
Say,
Morrissey.
look, he's owed me $2
Mr.
for
McCoy,
5
will you
years.
please...
Now, look, when a man makes a bet pitching horseshoes and he don't pay, I say he's a deadbeat. And I got 8 witnesses to prove I'd throw the ringer even if Morrissey won't admit it.
Please, Mr. McCoy.
Now, look, if that's the kind of man you're going to lend my money to, you ain't going to lay your hands on a nickel of it, and neither are you.
was it this time?
In the chimney there. Why, I'd like to tore my arm off.
Grandpa didn't even draw blood.
Well, it wasn't his fault. He tried hard enough. He's a mean one.
What were you doing in the chimney anyway?
Looking for the turtle. You see, I hear him stomping around in there.
You heard the turtle stomping around?
That's what I said, didn't I? It ain't nothing the matter with my hearing. All us McCoys has good ears.
Well, I'm going to put this turtle outside. Little Luke will bring him back in and hide him someplace. But no matter where he hides him, I'll find him. Turtles ain't house pets.
Fine state of affairs. A body can't be a sneak in his own house.
Grandpa. Everything go all right at the bank?
What's everybody making such a fuss about the bank for? I'm a grown man. If I can't do a simple thing like going to the bank, you should ought to send it to Luke.
Ain't no need to get huffy. All I did was ask you.
Oh, I forgive you, Luke.
You know something, Grandpa?
Yeah?
I got a real peaceful feeling about that money being in the bank.
Yeah, well.
It gives me real comfort to know it ain't underfoot no more.
I sure wish you and Peppino get started on my vegetable garden.
Oh, we will, Sugar Babe, we will. Right, Peppino?
See, it would not take long.
Grandpa, I didn't think you'd be home in time for lunch.
Oh, how's the Grange meeting?
Oh, just fine. Figure on having a dance toward the end of the month.
Good.
Oh, are you ready for some lunch, Grandpa?
You know, Kate, I don't feel too hungry. I'll just have me a cup of coffee.
Well, come on, Peppino.
Luke, don't forget you promised to start working on that garden. I'd like to get planting today. The signs say it's right.
Okay, right after we finish out in the barn.
Where you going to have your garden, Kate?
Right near the house.
Well, having it near the house like that makes it right handy. You see everything that's going on. Out front here?
No, right where the old garden used to be, right outside the back door here.
Well, that's right outside the door here?
That's where I'm going to grow my new fancy tomatoes.
Well, now, that's the goddarndest, most foolish place I ever heard to grow tomatoes.
Grandpa, it gets the sun all day. It's a good piece of land.
Well, it's too close to the house. Don't you know that the most poisonous thing there is to tomatoes is house paint? It's a killer.
I can't let all the work Peppino did clearing the cans and stumps go to waste.
Peter cleared them cans and stumps?
This morning.
Huh? Oh, you said you wanted your vegetable garden here, didn't you?
But what about the house paint?
What house paint?
Well, you said it was poisonous.
Oh, that house paint. Well, that's all so wore out they ain't got no strength no more. Ain't nothing to worry about. when Kate wants a gun, she wants it.
Well, you heard us say we were going to do it.
And in your city clothes, too. I don't get it.
Hey, Luke, I guess you had quite a job cleaning up the stumps and cans.
Oh, no, there wasn't many.
Oh, just a few you tossed away somewhere?
Oh, we didn't toss them away, Senor Grandpa.
You know something, Grandpa? I had no idea how much money there is in old cans.
Well, now, Luke, I was going to tell you about that myself, you know. When I went down to the bank...
The fellow over at the dump, he charged Peppino 50 cents just to dump them cans we had around here.
Dump? Is that where all them cans is?
Pretty smart, huh, Senor Grandpa?
No, it ain't.
What?
Well, I mean that dump fella ain't smart. 50 cents for all them cans. I guess he had no ID. What you had there?
This fellow was here this morning, you say?
Yeah, a little fella. He's about that high. He wore a straw hat, but he didn't speak real good English like me and you.
Oh, that one. Sure, I remember.
Yeah? Where's the cans he done brung?
Over there. They're all yours. Good luck.
Yo quiero a Lolita, yo quiero Pepita. Andy, you're a thief. How did you manage to get all these cans when we were taking them away? I hope you got a stomachache.
Will
you stop, sugar? I keep forgetting to count.
If we don't find the owner, it's ours to keep, no?
Uh-huh.
110.
$110. We could be rich.
110? Sugar babe, does that have kind of a familiar ring to you?
Yes, Luke.
What's wrong with it? I think it's a very beautiful number.
And the rubber bands that was wrapped around the money in two directions?
It just has to be.
I don't understand. Has to be what?
Peppino, this is our savings.
Yours? And you keep it outside in a tin can? With not even a top on it?
It's a long story, Peppino.
Yeah, and it ain't too funny.
Well, for a minute I was rich.
Maybe we ain't rich, but finding this money's going to keep us from being poor.
Well, I guess Grandpa'll be happy to find out it ain't lost.
He ain't going to find it out. Leastwise, not for a while.
Oh, Luke, you can't do that. You can't let him suffer.
Suffer? Well, we'd have suffered a whole lot more if we'd have lost that tractor just because he was too mule-headed to put this money in the bank.
I wonder where he is now.
Well, that don't take no figuring out. Right now, he's down at the junkyard looking for this tin can.
Howdy, Luke.
Howdy, Grandpa.
Howdy.
Where you been?
Oh, just around. A few errands. Hey, say, Luke. Speaking about tractors, farming ain't what it used to be, is it?
How's that again?
Well, look at us. We're getting soft. Now, when I was a young fella, the fun of farming was plowing a field behind a couple of mules.
Well, it's a sight easier on a tractor, I'll tell you.
See, but That don't mean it's better, you see. Everybody knows handwork is better than machine work. Say, it might be a good idea to try farming by hand again, eh?
Well, now, wouldn't that be silly, Grandpa? Just when we got enough money to pay off the tractor?
Well, we shouldn't ought to leave the fact that we got the money rush us, Luke.
You know, seeing as how we got to make that payment on Monday, why don't we go down to the bank and get that money out?
Well, now, wait a minute, Luke. It can't go now. It's after 3 o'clock. The bank is closed.
Oh, no, this is Friday. They stay open till 6 o'clock.
I know, but it ain't due till Monday, and we can draw the money out then, you see.
Come on, let's go down and get the money.
Well, now, look, maybe if they ain't there. I mean, maybe they've been paying out so much money that they sort of run short, you see.
Grandpa, is something wrong?
Yes, there is, Luke. I never put the money in.
Oh?
I put it in a tin can and buried it.
Yeah, well, where is it?
It's gone, Boyd. It's gone.
Oh, Grandpa, I don't rightly know what to say.
Well, Luke, we're going to lose the tractor, and I'm the one you got to blame for it.
Maybe the bank could lend us the money. That's what they do, you know.
Yeah, but we ain't got nothing to put up, Luke. They already got a mortgage on the house.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, Grandpa, you was always good at talking around people. Maybe if you was to sweet-talk the bank manager, he'd borrow it to us.
No, I don't think so, Luke.
Maybe I'll talk to him myself.
But it ain't going to do no good.
Well, Grandpa, we can't just lose the tractor. We got to do something. Now, come on.
Okay, Luke, you better handle this. I see him over there.
Oh, he don't look too bad. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if he was to lend us some money. Hello, Mr. Laidlaw.
Yes?
I put $110 in your bank yesterday. Remember? Well, I'd like to take it out. I got a bill to pay.
Of course. This way, please.
Well, I got it.
They give you $110?
Just on my signature. Let's go down and pay off the tractor.
Wait a minute, Luke. You say, I want to apologize what I said to you yesterday. And don't you worry about the money. We're going to pay you back every cent. And I don't know how to thank you, but if you ever need anything, a friend or anything, you just come to Amos McCoy. You got a friend for life.
No thanks necessary, Mr. McCoy.
You say, and about that Ed Morrissey, I hope you give him the loan anyway, because maybe he ain't such a deadbeat after all. You know, in that horseshoe game he owes me the $2 from, he claimed it was a leaner until I kicked it with my foot, and that made it a ringer. Used to say. The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan.
created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Say, did you tell me how to get to the Dillingham property?
Oh, yeah, you go right over to the... You say I didn't get you in the Dilly what place?
Dillingham.
Oh, Dillingham. Say, you know, I couldn't understand you. You got a sort of a dry throat.
Well, how do I get there?
You say, you know, there ain't nothing in the world better for a dry throat than a nice glass of cool cider?
Look, all I wanted to know... cider, eh? Homemade?
Yes, sir. Your last chance to fill up before you hit the thruway.
All right, draw me one.
One glass coming up, Luke.
1961. Very good year. Now, about the Dillingham place. Oh, of course.
Tell them where the Dillingham place is, Luke.
Well, you go down the road about a quarter of a mile, you turn right at the fork, and go up the hill a mile or so.
Of course, if it was the rainy season, you couldn't get nowhere near the property.
Oh, why not?
Well, the creek overflows and washes out the whole place. They have to put in a new bridge every year.
Really gets that bad?
Yes, sir. They call old man Dillingham's place Noah's Ark. He has to keep his socks up in the attic to keep them dry.
Well, I'm certainly glad I stopped here.
Well, that's fine. Say, if you like that cider, would you be interested in a jug?
Okay, it's a deal.
I'll go out the barn and get you one. Won't take a minute.
No hurry. I'll pick it up on the way back.
Well, we'll have it ready for you when you get here. Glad you stopped by.
So am I. And not just because of the cider.
Well, now, what do you suppose he meant by that?
Well, he'll be here any minute.
Now remember, no high pressure. It doesn't work with a big operator like Mr. Martindale. But this place is going to take a little selling, Jim. I know.
So we better put this one over. Why we ever bought this acreage in the first place?
Here he is. How do you do, Mr. Martindale?
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
This is Mr. Treemantle and Mr. Burton, the other members of our Civic Improvement Committee.
How do you do, Mr. Treemantle?
Pleasure, Mr. Martindale.
Mr. Burton. So, this is the Dillingham property, eh?
Yes, we have a feeling that this is just the right property for what you have in mind.
I see.
Naturally, we're just as anxious as you are to have the right kind of housing development come in here.
Well, one thing. Coming up the road, I noticed there was a new bridge.
Yes. Your good luck. All for the same price.
What happens around here when it rains?
Think nothing of it.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, that's another plus. The property is generously endowed with ample rainfall.
Now, tell me, which farmhouse do they call Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark? Well, that's the...
Gentlemen, my houses are one-story houses, which means no attic for people to keep their socks dry.
Mr. Martindale, drainage around here is... No, Bill. If Mr. Martindale feels this isn't right for him, it just so happens that we have 3 other pieces of property we'd like to show you.
But unfortunately, I have to catch a noon plane to Chicago. See, I have a few problems in a development I'm starting there.
Oh, but you will be coming back this way, though.
Oh, yes, say Thursday. So why don't I look at these other properties then?
Well, that's fine, fine.
We'll look forward to hearing from you.
See you Thursday.
Right.
Have a nice trip.
Bye.
Noah's Ark. I wonder where he found out about that. He's been talking to someone around here, that's certain.
Well, if Martindale's got a line on this property, the very same thing can happen with the other 3 pieces we have.
I wonder who's giving him his information. Noah's Ark.
Wish I knew. I'd bust him right in the nose.
I don't think that would do much good. If we do find him, I think we'd do much better making him a partner.
Grandpa, I'm surprised at you. Water in the cider.
Well, there's no harm done, Luke. After all, water gets into the roots of the apple trees, goes on up through the limbs and out to the apples. I'm just to sort of save me the trip, that's all. Don't sound exactly right, do it, Luke?
No, that fella coming back.
Remember now, no refunds.
My jug ready?
All set to go.
Yeah, I'll take that. The grass needs watering.
How much owe you?
Oh, $1. Even's all right.
Right? Here we are.
Thank you. Say, you didn't stay long at the Dillingham place.
No, I didn't have to. I'm looking for land to build houses, not boats.
Oh, now, don't get discouraged. You know, when you're building houses, sometimes it's good places, sometimes it's bad places. Now, you take this place right here.
I know. It's the ideal place. You had lots of offers, but you're going to let me have it for a rock-bottom price.
No, that ain't the case at all. Truth is, anybody'd be crazy to buy this place for houses.
How's that again?
You see, it's too hilly and rocky. It costs a fortune. It'll level it off. It's good for dirt farming, but that's about all.
Sir, my name is C.J. Martindale, and I'd like to shake the hand of an honest man.
Well, my satisfaction. Amos McCoy.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Mr. McCoy.
Say, how about another glass of cider, huh?
Well, no, thanks.
On the house?
No, you see, I don't have much time. I'm on my way to the airport.
Oh, say, well, look, when you're back in this neighborhood, be sure and drop in and see us, huh?
You know, I might just do that. I'll be back later in the week.
Good. There you are. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, whatever it is, looks like I'm going to miss my plane.
You say, have you tried advancing the spark and pulling out the choke?
What do you know? I'm out of gas.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey, say, I'd be glad to drive you over in the company car.
You would?
Sure. And I'll have this all filled up and ready for you when you get back.
Say, that's mighty nice of you. You sure not too much trouble?
Oh, of course not. No.
Let's go.
Mine's an open job.
Thanks again for the lift, Mr. McCoy. I'll pick up the car when I come back Thursday.
Pardon me, Mr. Martindale. Should I get a picture?
I suppose so. I don't go away. Come on, I'll get you in on this.
Amos McCoy, local resident.
What are we waiting for?
Gentlemen. It's quite possible you are looking at the newest member of the Civic Improvement Committee. I hope he's home.
Wait a minute. Here he is now.
He's driving Martindale's car.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCoy. My name is Fancher, James T. Fancher.
Well, howdy.
This is Mr. Burton and Mr. Tremont. How do you do?
How do you do, Howdy? Well, power to you.
Certainly is a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's good enough to get me to the barn and back. Well, what can I do for you fellas?
Well, we are the members of the Civic Improvement Committee of Valley Town.
Is that right?
Yes. We organized this committee for the good of the community.
Well, that's fine. You know, I'm for them things.
To get to the point, Mr. McCoy, we've decided to enlarge our committee. And we're here to ask if you'd be willing to serve with us.
Me on the committee?
We'd consider it an honor if you'd consent to join us.
Well, I don't see how I could rightly refuse nothing like that. So, gentlemen, I'll be happy to join up with you.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. We meet this evening in the municipal building at 8 o'clock.
Can you make it?
Well, when a man is working for the community, his ain't to question, but to serve.
Good. We'll see you this evening.
Bye. Well, here I be. Amos McCoy, leading citizen.
Well, you look just perfect, Grandpa.
Thank you, Kate.
But I still can't figure how they come to pick you for all this.
Oh, just what do you mean, Luke? This civic improvement stuff is right up my alley. I got a lot of good notions in my head about what should ought to be done to fix up this town.
You have?
I sure have. You know that statue of Paul Revere out in front of the courthouse?
Yeah.
Well, that is in just terrible shape. It's disgraceful. Why, you know the hat he's a-wearing is a rusted clean through.
Grandpa, do you really think you ought to get mixed up in all this?
Yes, I do. There's a lot of other things should be done in this town. And now I can see that they is done. After 60 years of scratching around, I finally got a chance to be somebody.
Grandpa, we're both real happy for you.
Well,
Night.
Night, Grandpa.
good night.
Well, I believe that takes care of the preliminaries. Now for the matter of community improvements.
Yes, let's get to that.
Yeah, no sense in wasting time.
Now there is something I'd like to bring up along them lines.
Yes?
This just come to my attention lately. It's got to do with a very important, famous man.
What is it?
Gentlemen, I think Paul Revere's about due for a new hat.
Did you say Paul Revere?
A new hat?
Yep, his old one's rusted clean through. There must be some place that makes a decent iron hat.
But what kind of a suggestion is that?
Look. We ain't going in for big things, important things. Tell him, Jim.
Gentlemen, I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. McCoy.
You do?
Yes, Mr. Burton. Mr. Treemantle, make a note. Check on Paul Revere's hat. Most vital. Excellent suggestion, Mr. McCoy. You're justifying our faith in you already.
Well, it won't nothing.
Now, I think we should consider the important subject of housing in our community.
Now you're talking.
That's very important.
It so happens, Mr. McCoy, that one of the country's biggest builders, Mr. C.J. Martindale, is considering building a tract of houses in our area.
Yeah? I know he's a good friend of mine.
At any rate, we of the Improvement Committee have decided to recommend one of these 3 sites to him.
Yes, we feel they'd be ideal for his purposes.
Well, just them 3, huh? They sure must be other good spots, too.
No. We've checked the area. These are the best.
Now, of course, the only thought of this committee is to work for the betterment of the community. Now that we've narrowed it down to the 3 sites...
I'd like to take a look at some other...
Mr. McCoy, Valleytown is not an ungrateful community. And in return for giving of your valuable time and energy to this project, you will receive a fee of something like, shall we say, $5,000.
$5,000?
Oh, this is a very generous community, Mr. McCoy.
I never had no idea there was any pay connected with this thing.
Well, in a case like this where the community will profit, it's usual.
Now, what about you fellas? You get a fee, too?
Suffice it to say that we, too, will benefit for our efforts.
I see. And I suppose it all hinges on Mr. Martindale buying one of them 3 properties?
Yeah, that's right.
And we are in hopes that you will join with us in convincing Mr. Martindale that one of these sites will be ideal for him.
Then we can count on you to see eye to eye with us when we sit down with Martindale?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Boy, this is a night we'll all remember.
I should say so. Congratulations.
What is it, Mr. McCoy?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I was just wondering how much water you fellas would put in the siding.
Well, how'd it go, Grandpa?
Well, what all happened?
All right. Just a meeting, that's all.
Oh, Grandpa, would you like some coffee? I just made a pot fresh.
No, thank you, Kate. I reckon to go to bed. And then again, I might well tell you now as any time. Luke, you was right. Them fellas don't care a hoot about Amos McCoy. They just wanted someone to help them sell a piece of property to Mr. Martindale.
So that was it.
Imagine me thinking I was getting up in the world. Guess it's one on me. Kind of funny, wasn't it?
Now, Grandpa, it weren't that way at all.
Grandpa, them fellas ain't worth bothering about. Just forget it. You don't never have to see them again.
Oh, but I do, Luke. The fact is, I got to see him one more time. Thursday, when Mr. Martindale gets back.
Why bother?
Well, it's important. Them fellas said that tonight was something they'd always remember. And I just got to see to it that they does.
Well, it's nice to see you again, Amos. And I must say I'm pleasantly surprised to find that you're a member of this group.
Well, thank you, Mr. Martindale.
Well, Mr. Martindale, I know your time is limited, so we can get right to the business at hand.
Well, that suits me fine.
Now, these are the 3 pieces of property that we mentioned to you. All quite unusual. Mr. McCoy has been checking them out.
Good. I'd like to hear what he has to say about it.
Well, Mr. Fancy here is right. These properties is all quite unusual. Now, you take Hidden Acres right here. Yeah, it's just a ticket if you're looking for a place that's real quiet.
And it's secluded.
Now, that's the word exactly. Secluded. In fact, it's the most secluded place I ever seen. It's secluded miles from roads, schools, electricity, gas, water, and people.
Well, I guess we can eliminate that.
What's he trying to do? Relax. He can handle it. Knock the first, helps him set up the next.
Now, number 2 right here, Meta Estates. This property is near to everything.
Very central location.
And it's got lots of atmosphere.
And next year it'll have even more atmosphere when they build that tannery next door. Why, the air around that place will be so thick you can sew buttons on it.
Well, we can forget about that one, too.
Stop this maniac. Take it easy. It's the oldest trick in the books. Priming him for the grand finale.
And now, which brings us to number 3 right here. You see, there's Viewcrest Hills. Now, this place is near everything. No problems with factories or such like, and I hear the price is right.
How do I get to it?
Well, that's easy. In fact, I don't even think you have to go up to get to it.
Oh?
No. You see, the land up there is so loose that it'll all slide down here before you can get up there.
Gentlemen, I don't understand. None of these places seem at all suitable.
Yeah, there is one. Just one other place. Now, it's between Barton and Elm Street, right in here, you see. Now, there's level, convenient, all improvements. It's just got everything you can think of. Everything. And here's the layout right here.
No ifs, ands, or buts about this one, Amos?
Nope.
Good. Well, while there's still daylight, I think I'll drive out and look at it.
Well, that's a good idea.
Barton Place in Elm, you say?
That's right, yes.
Right. Well, now, thank you for your help, gentlemen. I'll check with you in the morning.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Well, you're nothing but a crook.
Are you taking money behind our back?
Simmer down, simmer down. If Martindale takes that place, it means a better deal for all of us.
You mean we can talk business with the owner?
Of course. We'll buy an option on his property and squeeze a neat profit in 24 hours.
Yes, but we've got to work fast. Now, how do we get to the owner?
Oh, that's as easy as pie. He's waiting in the next room.
And then... Oh. Oh, you're a sly one, McCoy. You really are. I must admit for a moment that you had me worried. Gentlemen, my hat is off to a real businessman.
But you just bring him in. He won't have a prayer.
Would you come in, please?
Yes, do come on.
Reverend Digby? It's your land?
That's right. It belongs to the church.
It's strange, but he don't seem to be the type who wouldn't have a prayer.
Gentlemen, this sale will be a godsend. The money will help pay off our mortgage and add a Sunday school room. And it certainly proves your qualifications as unselfish public servants. Our thanks to you, Mr. McCoy. You'll continue working with the committee, won't you?
Oh, sure. When's the next meeting, fellas?
Well, it so happens that I've been devoting so much of my time to this work that I've neglected my own business. I'm afraid I'm going to have to resign. Excuse me.
My position is practically the same, gentlemen. I expect you'll have to do without me also.
You can count me out. I just don't have the time.
Just when we're doing such great work, too. Well, I guess that leaves me all alone, Reverend.
Oh, I'm sure other people will volunteer, Mr. McCoy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In the meantime, I'll be very happy to work with you on any problems that might come up.
Well, now, that's mighty nice of you, Reverend.
In work of this kind, I know a lot of important matters can come up. Maybe a little too much for one man to handle.
Yeah, that's right.
So anytime you need my help, don't hesitate to call on me.
Oh, I won't, no. Oh, Reverend.
Yes?
Do you know anybody that makes a good iron hat? The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Kate! Grandpa! Hey, everybody, a letter from West Virginia. From Aunt Myra and Uncle Jan.
Well, it's about time. We haven't had a letter from home in almost a year.
Hey, I ain't never seen one of them striped envelopes before. Well, that means it come airline.
Oh.
Well, open the envelope. It might be emergency. You everybody ready?
Yeah.
Read, Luke. Wait.
Dear Amos, Kate, Luke, little Luke, and Hassie, we are all fine. How are you?
Well, fine. Go ahead, Luke.
We're sorry we didn't write sooner. We have been busy because Simon Brothers Paper and Pulp Incorporated have opened a plant here. Jed, Carl, and Edgar took jobs over there, so that all of us is in paper boxes now.
Oh, them poor souls. Closing the farms down like that. They must be having a tough time.
It's a good thing we come out here when we did.
The only one not working there is Great-Grandma McCoy. Which brings me to the most important point of the letter. We are planning a celebration party to celebrate Great-Grandma's 100th birthday.
Oh, my!
You know, it just don't seem possible 100 years has gone by since she was born.
Time sure flies.
There's more. Nothing would make her and us happier than if you California McCoys could find your way clear to come to the party here next Friday. I'll close now, hoping you can make it. Love from all of us to all of you, Aunt Myra.
I sure would love to see Smoky Corners again.
It'd just be wonderful, but it's out of the question.
Oh, yeah, we could never afford nothing like that.
We gotta send her something real nice, though.
Yeah. We can look through your new catalog. Grandpa?
Something wrong?
You know, I was just remembering that dear old lady and all the good things she done for us. Now she's going to be 100. This might be the last chance we get to see the old girl.
Well, I know what you're thinking, Grandpa, but a trip like that would be pretty dear money-wise.
The money we've got has got to go for other things.
Yeah, but I can't help thinking that great-grandma McCoy is a whole lot more important than anything that money can buy.
I'm with Grandpa. I think we ought to go.
Well, I think so, too. It's vacation time.
Now, simmer down, simmer down. Don't go jumping yourself into no conclusions. If we was to go...
Yeah?
Which we ain't. There wouldn't be enough money for you kids to go. You'd have to stay with McCoys.
Oh!
Now, hush up.
You know, it'd be kind of nice to see the old gal before she gets the call.
You know, Grandpa, the car's been running real good. There's some tread on the tires that ain't boiled over in a week.
Oh, we're just daydreaming. Our car wouldn't even get us across the state line.
Well, now, look, even if we was to go, which we ain't, we go the way the good Lord meant for us to go by train.
Flying's best.
Now, look, if we was to go, which we ain't climbing into none of them airplanes. For bringing letters fast, that's just dandy. But for people, not a chance.
We're moving.
It's a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Just like riding along on the ground.
We are on the ground, Grandpa. This is called taxiing.
Oh. No extra fare?
See, we're just moving out to a good clear spot on the field so we can get a running start there.
Here we go.
Grandpa, would you turn loose on my wrist? My fingernails is turning blue. Oh, we're going up! Grandpa, he fell out.
Grandpa, you feel relaxed enough now to have a little lunch?
Yeah, that'd be rightly nice, Kate.
Hey, take a napkin.
Thank you.
Luke?
Thanks, sugar babe. What's the matter, Grandpa?
Oh, I was just thinking, Luke. Remembering when we come out to California 5 years ago, driving the A model. We're sure going back home a lot more stylish, ain't we?
Well, you gotta admit, we made good. Yeah, we're going home a booming success.
Yeah, I can see the expression on your Uncle Jed's face right now. He was so god-darn sure we was going to be a bust in the West.
Yeah. Remember he said we'd probably end up in Kansas City washing dishes with the car broke down?
Well, a little crowing don't do no harm, but don't overdo it. Just remember they're having a tough time now.
Uncle Jed's due for a little jab here and there. He's been knocking Grandpa for years.
You know what we're going to do, Luke, when we get to the airport? We ain't going to take no streetcar to Jed's house. We're going to get a taxi cab.
A taxi cab? By jingles, that ought to do it.
We're going to drive right up to Jed's house. And we're going to walk right into the parlor with the taxi fella carrying our satchels behind, see? And then when Jed and Myra's watching us, I'm going to get out the money and I'm going to pay the taxi fella in cash. And I'm going to give him a little tip for his chef.
Now, Grandpa, that's just going too far.
I guess maybe she's right at that, Luke. I won't give him no tip.
Excuse me, Mr. McCoy.
Ma'am?
You ready for lunch?
Lunch?
Yes, sir. We have filet mignon, lobster, and ham steak.
He gives lunch on this here airplane?
Yes, sir.
No extra fare?
No, sir. Everything is included.
Well, could I think about it a minute?
I'll come back.
Luke, Kate. Hmm?
What is it, Grandpa?
You know they gives you lunch in this here airplane.
Lunch?
Yeah, filet mignon, lobster, ham steak, and you have your choice. And no extra fare.
Oh.
Grandpa, we just ate.
But if we don't eat it, they just throws it away. We already done paid for it.
I couldn't eat another bite.
Grandpa, I am full to my scalp.
I'm just as filled up as you two is. I was only a chicken wing away from fainting when I quit.
Have you decided yet?
Filet mignon.
Lobster.
Ham steak.
They don't look like 430 Willow Lane to me. Don't even look like Willow Lane. It's like a whole different street.
What this is that, mister?
Well, that sure ain't Jed's place.
Well, this is 430 Willer Lane, and that's where Jed McCoy lives at.
Jed's place was a rickety-peely sort of a house.
Well, it's possible he had it painted.
Jed? Why, he can't afford to have a sore throat painted.
Well, let's try it anyways.
Say, you wait right here till we make sure now.
Admire, too.
No extra fare?
You're allowed a 2-minute flag up. No charge.
Thank you. Come on, Luke, 2 minutes.
Look at that new aluminum porch furniture.
I don't see no rocker with a wicker bottom set out of it.
Hey, there's a car in the driveway.
1937 sports coupe built into a pickup truck?
No, it must be a brand new 4-door sedan.
Well, that's enough for me. This ain't Jed's place. Son, you're either new around here or your windshield's in backwards. That ain't Jed McCoy's house. Come on, get in.
Jed McCoy.
Yeah? Amos! Myra, they're here!
That's Jed, all right.
Amos! They're here! Amos! I had
Myra, it's just beautiful.
Sure is, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Take a hold in that basket, Amos.
Huh?
Go ahead, take a hold of the basket, pull it on out in the open. Look on it.
That is ice. Machinery in there makes its own little blocks of ice.
Well, refrigeration's what does that.
How do you know that, Luke? You got one of these?
Of course we had.
Not with a basket.
Well, really, we have.
I've got 2 baskets. 2, yeah. One makes ice cream cones.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you know, for the kids.
You ain't storying, are you, Amos?
Storying? Well, I done told you when we left here that California was the land of milk and honey.
It looks to me like Smoky Corners has got a little milk and honey of its own.
A new car, house painted, and wall-to-wall linoleum.
What's been happening around here, Uncle Jed?
Well, Myra wrote you about the box factory.
How can you make money on paper boxes? You can pick up all you want back at the grocery store for nothing.
Well, the government alone buys millions of them just to ship electronic parts and the like. Well, I think it's just wonderful y'all doing so well.
Well, the whole gang of us is over to the box factory. And you might say 3 of us is, well, kind of executives. Well, Cousin Carl's in waterproof bag linings, and Cousin Edgar's in charge of number 4 incinerator now.
Little skinny, lazy old Edgy?
Oh, he's really shaped up, Amos. Your number 4 incinerator burns twice as much waste as any other 2 put together.
What do you do, Uncle Jed?
Show him, honey. There she is. That's your Simon Paper Company model X387. Yes, sir. This little baby will take lots of rough handling and still come up smiling.
I'm so proud of him.
You make them smiling boxes, kid?
Yep. That'll do.
Well, I guess that's all there is to see in here. Let's all go in the living room.
Living room? She used to call it the parlor.
Grandpa, the linoleum, wall to wall.
I forgot.
This is on your television set. Oh, my!
And here's our new electric phonograph.
And over
Amos, I want you to come out in the garage with me. I want to show you our new deep freezer. You got one of those in California?
Well, no, but we got a very cool cellar.
That's 100% refrigerated.
The whole cellar?
Well, if you're going to do things halfway, don't do it.
Grandpa, a refrigerated cellar? Now I've heard it all.
No, you ain't. I'm just getting warmed up.
Just going too far. All this fibbing and bragging about how well we're doing.
Jed started it all.
But he's telling the truth. They are doing well.
Oh, you're going to rub it into me, too, huh?
No, nobody's rubbing nothing no place, Grandpa. It's just that you got our neck stuck out about 10 feet.
Now, look, I didn't ask you to come in here and jaw me. I asked you to come in here and help me wrap up Great-Grandma's presents.
All right. Where are they?
Now, wrap this picture of Great-Grandpa up real careful, Kate. It's a family heirloom.
Maybe we should have spiffied that frame up a little.
Now, Luke, don't you know you don't fool around with Mother of Pearl?
Well, I'll wrap the cameo in lots of tissue paper so it doesn't scrape the ivy.
You can't. What? Grandpa, you gave this cameo to Kate. This is what you wore at our wedding.
Grandpa and I decided that she should have it.
Granny gave it to me in the first place, Luke.
She wore it at her wedding, too, you know.
Granny's got a lot of sweet memories. So we thought it'd be kind of nice to have the cameo to go along with Great-Grandpa's picture, to keep her company.
You understand, Luke?
You know, Grandpa, it don't show most of the time, but there's a streak of real niceness in you.
Well, don't leave it get around, Luke.
Mighty tasty, didn't you?
There you are, Granny. Oh, thank you, Sonny. You know, he always has been such a thoughtful boy.
Sonny? Granny always calls me Sonny.
Thoughtful?
Luke, when I was a young boy, I was very darling.
Now, Sonny, don't feel like you have to stand here and make talk with me. Go on over there and talk to your cousins. I know how boys are.
Yeah, well, Luke and Kate, you stay here with Granny, and if she wants something, you get it.
Well, when I found out I was the only one in the family without a clothes dryer.
You mean you don't have one?
No! I'm the only one who still hangs clothes on the line.
Well, I can imagine what you're saying.
Howdy, cousins.
What do you mean you went and bought a 4-door sedan? You said you was only going to get a 2-door.
Well, we just changed our mind.
But me and Martha went and bought a 2-door. Doggone, you tricked us. You're 2 doors up on us. Well, come Monday, maybe we'll just trade up to a 4-door.
Oh, Carl, you are so doggone childish. Will you get a 4-door? I'm going out and get me a station wagon with deluxe trim to boot. What you driving these days, Amos?
Oh, we got one of them 4-door models.
You ain't still got that old 4-door touring car you drove out there, have you?
Oh, no, we done give that to one of the Hep. We got one of them new 4-door models.
A Hydromatic?
Well, not all over, no. He's got a leather top. Well,
All right, everybody, gather around. It's time for Granny to open her present. Here, let's bring it down here a bit closer to the table.
My goodness, all this hurrying around and fussing. I'm really only 89, you know.
Granny, you've been 89 for 11 years now. Fess up.
You're 100 years old, and you know it.
Well, I keep a telling you, I was just married young, that's all.
Carl, bring in Granny's present. Let's see what we got here.
All right, here they come. Make room there. Here's the first one, Granny. Open her up.
Oh, come on.
I thought you said we was probably the only ones that brung presents.
That's ours. We drove all the way to Wheeling to get it.
Oh, it's real nice.
It's got genuine diamond chips instead of numbers.
Must have
cost $40.
$47.50 wholesale. My, ain't that beautiful? Can anyone see what time it is?
Never mind the time. Just take a look at this fur collar. Just you feel that fur collar.
Ain't
That's $75, isn't it, penny?
$87.50.
I feel like I was at auction. Look, get our presents out of the basket and we'll hide it.
What?
I'll give Grandma some cash and that'll show them.
We can't afford to give her no cash. We're on a budget. How are we going to get home?
Walk.
Let's see what the big ranchers from California brought.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see that, too. Where is it?
Maybe you got lost.
No, I put it in the basket with the others.
She would.
Here it is. I found it. Oh, wonder what it is.
That show-off Amos. It's probably a pocketbook filled with $100 bills.
Maybe he's joking.
Come on, Amos. Where's the real present, huh?
That is the real present. We thought it was nice. Besides, we couldn't afford the kind of presents you brought.
Kate. Kate's right. Truth is, Granny, we can't afford to buy you no watch and no overcoat with a furry neck on it. We ain't no big rancher from California. We're just about getting by out there. We ain't got no leather automobile. In fact, we're still driving the A model we was wearing when we left here. When it comes to ice boxes, we ain't got but one tray. And that only works when the weather's real cold. I'm sorry if you're disappointed. Because we sure give you presents a lot of thinking. But if we just didn't pick them right, why, we're real sorry.
That's my Charlie. Tall and straight. His chin up so that celluloid collar won't cut his throat. Hair all slicked. Twinkle in his eye. Oh, Sonny, I can't think of anything I'd rather have had than this picture of my Charlie. The cameo I wore at my wedding. It's the nicest present I ever got.
Well, it beats any present I ever seen, Amos. Don't think too unkind of us for laying on a little thick about the money. We just got carried away because we've been poor for so darn long.
Sonny, get me my crochet bag. There's been too much talking and not enough partying going on here. Granny, why, that ain't a drinking jug, Kate. That's a playing jug. And I bet you don't know that your grandpa is musical. Start it up, Sonny. Let's have a regular old-fashioned McCoy party.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Thank you. You comfortable? Yeah, thank you. Well, it sure was really nice of you to invite me to have lunch at your place of business, Cousin Carl.
Well, it sure pleasures us to have you, Cousin Amos.
Try one of these, Cousin Amos.
Thank you, Cousin Jed.
My specialty, liverwurst.
Liverwurst?
Uh-huh.
Myrie the foreign dishes.
Billy Amanda put in a 7-minute egg for you, Cousin Amos.
Well, now you just thank Billy Amanda from the bottom of my heart, would you, Cousin Edgy?
Howdy, boys. Hi, Cousin Mort.
Mort.
Cousin Mort, meet up with Cousin Amos.
I heard you's in town. Howdy, cousin.
Howdy, cousin.
Why, sure. This is Cousin Mort McCoy Tolliver. His mother was married to Warren Tolliver on your second cousin Jesse McCoy's side.
Well, I do declare. It does seem like I hear them talking about you. You're the tall, thin one, ain't you?
So they tell me. Well, been nice meeting you, Cousin Amos. I got to run. I told Cousin Floyd I'd meet him over at the boiler at lunch. See you now.
Don't take no round-cornered boxes. Well, it is kind of an industry joke.
Well, more power to you. Well, now, see, there's Cousin Floyd and Cousin Mort there. That's 2. And then you 3 McCoys. There's 5 of you all working at this place, huh?
5?
It's more like 105.
Nearly every one of the employees here has McCoy blood in him.
And they all left the soil, huh?
Pretty near everyone.
Attention, please. Guard, attention, please.
All right. All right. What was that?
Oh, that was just our loudspeaker system.
Almost hit my own finger.
T.J. Leland speaking. Here are this week's production curves.
Meaning how the factory's doing.
Oh.
Small boxes showing an increase of 3% over last week. My hat off to you boys in small box.
Cousin Will Johnson McCoy turns out small box.
Oh, yeah?
Waterproof bags. Your production has fallen off 2%. I'm sure it's due to those minor accidents in testing. Those floors are slippery when they wet. So let's get in there and stay on our feet, waterproof bags. Now then, I want the following men to report to my office immediately.
Oh, some poor devils are in for it now.
You should see the way some of the people around here jump up and hop around every time he barks.
Yeah. Jed McCoy, Carl McCoy, Ed McCoy.
Bye-bye, boys. Don't take no round-cornered boxes.
There we are, boys. Our new plant. Undoubtedly the queen of the paper box plants throughout the North American continent.
Yes, beautiful, Mr. Leland.
Oh, she's a doozy.
Beats anything I ever saw.
Gentlemen, we figure to increase production 30% within the first year. You 3 are in line for key spots. You, Carl, gluing supervisor. You, Edgar, superintendent of waterproof bags. And you, Jed, top man in small boxes.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Leland.
Holy Toledo.
Well, now, when do we start putting her up, TJ?
Just as soon as we clear up one minor problem. Right here. Cokebury Avenue, Cottonmouth Street, and the river.
You're absolutely right, TJ.
And now, gentlemen, what is right here?
Granny's house.
Yeah, Granny's house.
You hit the nail right on the head. To put it succinctly, I want to buy that property.
Well, that ought to be easy. Don't see no problem there.
Oh, it belongs to us. We'll sell it to you.
Well, Granny can move in with any one of us.
Then you foresee no problem. We can get right on with it,
Don't foresee a thing, TJ.
Good. Done and done. Now, if you excuse me, I'll just get the papers from Miss Becker.
Hey, how about that? Me, gluing supervisor. That's more than I ever dreamed of.
Top man in small boxes. I always had a feeling for them babies.
You fellas think I'll be able to handle superintendent waterproof bags?
Oh, now, Edgar, what kind of decisions you going to have to make anyway?
Either they leak or they don't.
Well, we can just sign the paper right now and just get it over with.
Well, wait a minute. It ain't going to be that easy. 4 of us control Granny's property, remember. Us 3 and Amos.
Huh? Oh, I knew it. I had a feeling in my bones things was going too slick.
Well, Amos will sign, won't he?
Well, I don't know. He never was one to cooperate easy. Amos will say no when you say yes, just for the thrill of it.
Well, we'll just have to handle him right. You know, butter him up a little, soft soap him.
I'll tell him he's nice.
I think maybe you better let Carl and me handle Amos.
Well, if you think it's best.
Here we are, boys. Just sign on the dotted line.
Well, TJ, we do have one small problem. It's our cousin Amos visiting us from California.
Yes, sir, you see...
I'll handle it, Carl. You see, he owns the property with us, so he's going to have to sign, too.
Yes, what it is...
I said I'll handle it, Carl. He might be just a little difficult, but I believe we can sell him. It's the right thing.
Oh, I'm sure you can. After all, why would a man want to cut off the futures of his blood relations?
Well, he wouldn't know. I mean, he wouldn't.
Good. Then, you'll bring this back signed, won't you?
Well, we'll try.
A try won't be good enough.
Jed will handle it, Mr. Leland.
Howdy, Amos. Howdy, Luke. What are you doing, playing checkers?
Oh, checkers.
Well, now, don't let us interrupt you. You go right ahead with the game.
It's your move, Grandpa.
Oh, nice move, Amos. Oh,
nice.
Yeah, you got him now.
Well, now, even the champ has to lose now and again.
Jed, I see you wearing your try-to-please face. What is it you wanted?
Well, it's just a little matter of a family business game that calls for your signature, Amos. So if you'll just affix your X right here, you can get on back to your game.
Wait a minute now, wait a minute. I see a signature on there. Who's that?
All right, that's mine.
And that's mine there.
There's X there, just like mine.
That's Edgar's.
Nice hand.
Well, you can see we've all signed it, so you know it's all right. It's just a little parcel of property we're selling to the factory. So, just make your mark there, Amos.
Now, wait a minute. Luke, read it. What does it say? What piece of property is it?
Well, it's just a little piece of property been in the family for years.
Well, there's some money they're willing to pay.
Oh, top dollar.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, for the sale of the old house where Granny lives.
What? Well, now, we'll arrange for Granny to live with one of us. She'll be perfectly comfortable.
Well, now, how does Granny feel about this?
No need to worry, Granny, about money matters. Don't worry about it. We're going to take care of her fine.
Now, look, Granny's got the most important say in this deal, and I ain't fixing no X on no paper until I talk with Granny.
Now, Amos, now, don't give us no trouble on this. Now, Mr. Leland's our boss, and we promised him that we'd sign.
Well, I don't work for him, and I ain't going to put my X on no paper until I talk with Granny.
Well, Amos, he'll talk to Granny, and then he'll come back and he'll sign it. There's nothing to worry about. Is there, Luke?
Well, one thing you can always be sure with Grandpa.
What's that?
You can never be sure with Grandpa.
Sounds like you two's having a nice time.
Well, yeah, it's just fine. Yeah, come for a little visit?
Well, yeah, sort of. Just want to ask you about a few things.
Granny was just telling me about all the stray animals you used to bring home. And about the still blowing up. And the day Luke was born. And the day you was born, too, Grandpa.
Look at him blush.
Granny, you and Great-Grandpa sure had a wonderful life.
Oh, yes, we did.
I guess you had just about everything the body could want.
Just about. Only there was one thing we wanted that we never got.
Oh?
Over yonder there, that hill. Grandpa's knoll. You know, Charlie and me used to dream about building us a little place up there.
Well, I know that hill. It's a mighty nice view of the valley from there, too.
We never got it. You know, some evenings I just like to come out here and sit, look at our hill, kind of dream. Sometimes I can almost see Charlie standing on top of that hill, waving that old red checkered bandana, just like he used to, telling me that he's got a nice fat rabbit for supper. Well, Sonny, you said you had something to ask me. Now, what is it?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I done get the answer myself.
You gotta sign it, Amos. You just gotta. Our whole lives will be ruined.
You're chopping our careers into willow stumps.
Well, the way it looks to me...
Luke's
right.
You're making a hullabaloo over nothing. Your thinking just don't make sense, Amos. Granny'd be a lot happier living with one of us.
Of course she would.
I think we ought to go and have a talk with her.
Now, you hold on. You mention one word of this to that little sweetheart, and I'll never sign it.
Well, I think Granny...
The boy's right. Granny'd sacrifice anything for your happiness. But this is one thing I ain't gonna leave her do.
How am I gonna look Mr. Leland in the eye? He's looking for us to bring that paper in all X'd on the dotted line.
Well, shucks, Uncle Jed.
Well, go ahead, Luke. You're one of the family. Speak up.
Well, I was just about to say that you done the best you could. Mr. Leland can't fire you for that.
Right. You're leaving them fearbuds of yours and get all inflamed over nothing.
Oh, Amos, you and your fancy California talk. We're gonna get canned.
Now, look, you're trying to make me think that this Mr. Leland is a regular Simon LeGreen or something. I know that if I was to go and have a talk with him, you'd right understand about the whole thing.
No, don't do that.
I don't think you should, Amos.
Luke's right.
I didn't say anything, Grandpa.
I heard you. It's my recollection, and Luke's too, that the bigger a man is, the nicer he is. You just gotta know how to talk to him. As the sun sets, the whole valley lights up with an orange glow. And Grandma, in her mind's eye, sees a figure atop of that hill. It's Charlie, waving his checkered red bandana. Coming home with a rabbit for supper. Now, that's a picture painting that warms your heart, don't it?
That's very nice. Terribly interesting.
Now, you wouldn't want to take away a little old lady's dream this late in her life, now, would you?
Do you realize that you're refusing to agree to the sale of this property is impeding progress?
Well, Granny loves that house by the hill, and she wants to live there the rest of her life. Progress or no progress.
So you won't change your mind, eh?
Nope.
Mr. McCoy, you are well aware that 3 of your close relatives are employed here?
Yes, sir. Fine, smart, wholesome boys, every one of them.
You're quite right, Mr. McCoy. And it's a pity. But it would be impossible for us to carry on a working relationship with members of a family who have impeded the progress of the Simon Paper Box Incorporated.
Are you trying to say that you'd fire Jed and Carl and Edgy? Well, go ahead. I'd like to see you try. Why, you ain't got the gall.
We've been fired.
Edgar, too? Mm-hmm. He just wandered off someplace, sick to his heart.
And it's all your fault, Amos McCoy.
Yeah, I'm sorry it turned out that way, but it really ain't so bad. Because you never was meant to glue cardboard together. McCoys is people of the soil. They always has been and always will be. So you all can go back to farming.
Farming?
You mean go back to plowing dirt and picking beans and slopping hogs like scrubby homesteaders, huh?
No offense, Amos.
Go back to dirty overalls and funny cartoon hats and busted fingernails?
No offense, Amos.
It's too late for that, Amos. Don't you understand?
I never thought I'd see McCoys a crying and a squealing like this. Why, you all ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Yes, sir, you should. Where would the United States of America be without the farmers? Without the land they plow and the beans they pick and the corn and the pigs and all the rest of it? You ought to be proud that you was once a part of it.
Why, sure, farming's fine. For you, 'cause you ain't never known anything better. But we are different. We've been exposed to the finer things alive.
Linoleum becomes a habit.
So does a car that runs every time you mash down on the starter.
I had enough. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna ruin Granny's remaining years for the sake of your goddamn shiny linoleum, your fingernails.
Nobody's ruining nothing.
Granny!
Come on in, Granny. We were just having a family talk about...
I know what you were talking about.
What?
Edgar come and told me. He's been sobbing his heart out for an hour on my best apron.
Why, you skinny ninny.
No, don't do that, Amos. Come back in here, boy. Come on. Nobody's going to cuff you while Grandma's here. Now, Sonny, I know what you've been trying to do, and it's just the sweetest thought ever. But you know I could never be happy. The rest of my family was making themselves miserable.
But, Granny...
Now, no back talk from you. I want you to go down to Mr. Leland and sign that paper.
Oh, for dear...
Are you going to do what I tell you, or am I going to whop you? I'm still strong enough to take a birch branch to you. Right, Sonny, it's the best thing.
But, Granny, you're going to miss seeing Charlie coming over the hill, waving his checkered bandana, bringing home that rabbit for supper.
You know Charlie couldn't hit a rabbit at 2 feet. Not if his life depended on it.
Well, you might as well go in and get it over with.
Yeah, I sure hate to do it, look. Look at them. All her kinfolk are sitting there, as innocent as babes, eating the liverwurst sandwiches. I wonder what they think if they know what's happening to Granny. Why, she...
Attention, please.
Here's that windbag on the radio again.
T.J. Leland speaking. I'm ashamed to report that shipping efficiency has decreased 6% during the past week. That is all. Enjoy your lunch.
Enjoy your lunch. How can a boy eat with that electric blabbing going on?
You can hear that thing for miles.
Yeah, but he thinks he's the voice. What's that you said, Luke?
I said you can probably hear that electric hollering for miles.
That's what I thought you said.
You wait.
What's that, Luke?
Please don't do anything else to help the family.
Now, if you'll just sign where indicated.
All righty. Say, I heard you on the radio driving over here. You got a real nice voice for public speaking.
Well, thank you very much. But that isn't a radio. I communicate with the personnel through the intercom.
Oh, do tell.
Yes, now if you'll just please sign that.
What's an intercom?
That is this instrument here. You see, I turn this switch. My voice is amplified several hundred times throughout the plant. Little idea of my own. Now, if you wouldn't mind signing the paper.
Oh, sure thing. Now then. Look what I've done. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's all right, Mr. McCoy.
I'll wipe it up with this. It spreads like butter.
That's all right. Don't worry about that copy. I have another.
Well, you go outside and get it, and I'll wait right here, pen at the ready.
I've got one right here in my desk. Here we are. Now, if you'll just sign the paper.
Okay, Mr. Leland. You got me. Here I am, Amos McCoy. With my back to the wall. You got me right where you want me, ain't you, Mr.
Stop that fighting. We're not going to go all over that again. Just sign the paper.
And if I don't, you're still going to fire Jed and Carl and Eddie McCoy?
I think I made that sufficiently clear.
On the other hand, if I do sign it, it means that dear 100-year-old Granny McCoy, who all of us McCoys hold dear to our hearts, is going to be put out of the house?
Oh, come on. Don't let's argue again. Just sign.
All right, go ahead. Hit me, Mr. Leland. But if the red-blooded McCoys that's working in this here plant know what is going on, they just raise holy Ned. Do you hear me?
Mr. Leland, your speaker is on. They can hear everything you're saying.
What?
You!
That's me, all right.
They're walking out. Every man on the planet.
Men, this is T.J. Leland speaking. Now, you settle down and come to your senses. I'll count to 3, and I want every man jack of you to return to your departments. 1, 2, 3.
They're not coming back.
Would you like to try 4, 5, and 6?
Grandma, so happy for you. Just think how nice it'll be when Mr. Leland moves your whole house up on top of Grandpa's knoll.
A view of the whole of Smoky Corners.
Well, I just can't believe it's true.
Grandpa, you don't think anything could go wrong, do you?
I know. I told Mr. Leland we was going back to California tomorrow. And he has up to sundown tonight to sign the deal, elsewise nobody goes back to work.
Heavens.
What's the matter, Granny?
Why, it's Charlie. Up on that hill on Grandpa's knoll. He's a-waving that old red-checkered bandana.
It is. Look at there. It's him.
Oh, that ain't Charlie. That's Mr. Leland. He's a-waving the deed to your property, Granny.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
We expect to be here in West Virginia for another 10 days. Then we'll be leaving for California. We're all fine and hope you are all fine. And we miss you.
Kate! Hurry up. Supper's almost ready. Aunt Mary and Uncle Jed says the company will be here most any minute now.
Well, I'm all ready, Grandpa. I just finished writing a letter home to Hassie and little Luke.
Good. You got to get to the table early if you want a good seat.
Where are Jed and Luke?
Here we are. How do I look, sugar babe?
Oh, you look very handsome. Ain't your necktie knot kind of wide at the top?
No, that's a new kind of a knot. It's called a Duke of Windsor knot. It's named after the Prince of Wales.
Boy gets out of town, his whole personality changes. Well, let's eat, huh?
Amos, we have to wait for the company.
Who's coming over, Aunt Myra?
Mary Turner, a widow from St. Louis. She used to live here. She's in town visiting a sick relative.
Mary Turner. Well, I just can't place her in my mind's eye.
Used to be Mary Oaks.
Mary Oaks. Mary Oaks. Nice smile, trim figure.
Uh-huh. You ought to remember, Amos. I heard you took her out a couple times before you married Julie.
A couple of times? Why, shucks, it was more than that. Why, me and Mary used to go everywhere together. You must have heard about that, Jed.
Well, I don't remember hearing anything like that, Amos.
Well, now you got a mighty short memory, because that girl was so crazy about me she couldn't even see straight.
Well, another page from the love book of Amos McCoy that we ain't heard about.
Was it a real romance, Grandpa?
Well, now, local-wise, it was famous for romance is Clary Bow and Rudolph Valentini. I never seen a girl in all my born days as crazy about a fella as she was to me. All this a blinking her eyes at me like this and the pat my hand. Why, she's sure...
Oh, that'll be Mary.
There she is. Now watch, Luke. Don't be too surprised she throws herself all over me when she sees me.
She won't recognize you. She ain't seen you in almost 50 years.
Well, I ain't changed that much. You wake up these dead roots here, and that's me 50 years ago.
You're so beautiful. Oh, Mary, this is Kate McCoy. This is Mary Turner. And this is Kate's husband, Luke.
How do, ma'am? Real nice to meet you.
I don't have to tell you who this is. Well, I don't think
It's me. It's really me. Now, you ought to know who it is.
I'm afraid I don't, sir.
It's Amos. Amos McCoy.
Oh, of course. Now I know.
You had me going there for a minute.
You're the grandfather of Luke and Kate here.
Oh, no. Long before that. Long before they was on the scene.
McCoy. I just can't... Yes, I do remember that name, but...
Yeah, I know you wouldn't forget. You remember the hayride I took you on down to Porter's Landing? Remember?
Did you take me on a hayride?
A hayride? I took you on 100 of them, 1,000.
Amos, after all, that was a long time ago,
It
Mary.
certainly must have been. Let me
sure
show you where to
will,
put
Ma.
your things. I'll show you the house. Come with us. Yes.
Grandpa, my cheeks is flushed with embarrassment for you. You shouldn't have leaped on her like that, stranger and all.
She ain't no stranger. Didn't you see the look on her face when I kissed her?
I sure did. Her eyes bugged out and her face went egg white.
Darn right. It's been 50 years. But my kisses is just as exciting today as they was then.
My children all live nearby, and we get together quite often.
Well, I think that's wonderful, Mary. Where's this go, Myra? Oh, right up here.
While strolling through the park one day, in the merry, merry month of May, I was taken by surprise by a pair of girlish eyes. While strolling through the park one day.
Now, that's very good, Mr. McCoy.
Don't that song ring a bell with you?
No.
While strolling through the park one day.
Oh, I know the song, and it's lovely, but...
It was your favorite. I used to sing it to you all the time.
You did?
Sure I did.
Really, Mr. McCoy?
And I ain't changed my front name none. Call me Amos. This is how I used to call you out in front of your house. Ooh, ooh, Mary, Mary. Your father didn't like me, but he didn't mind you going out with an owl.
Oh, I wish I could remember. But it was all so long ago.
Well, your memory can't work too good right after you ate your supper. I'll hoo-hoo you a little later after your food's digested. Hey, what's going on here?
I think we got us an owl out here.
Oh, that's me. You? Yeah. I was trying to sharp up Mary's memories about me. Can't figure now how she forgot so much. She was always such a bright girl headwise.
Well, I'll bet you $1 that you got her confused with some other lady friend.
I'll have you know, Luke McCoy, that my affection wasn't scattered around flighty-wise. When I went mashing, I mashed steady.
Amos, Luke is probably right. After all, our memories just ain't what they used to be when we start pushing 70.
Now, look, my recollection is every bit as good today as it was in my roaring 20s, and I'll prove it to you. And you two's going to help me, too.
Yeah, well, Grandpa, don't you think y'all just let it go?
No, sir. When you get to be Mary's age, memories is important. It ain't fair to her not to remember how much she loved me. She's entitled to the thrill. Now, listen to me. When Mary comes in,
Oh, I thought everybody here would be so changed, and when I stepped off the train, it was just as if I'd never been away.
I know what you mean. I felt exactly the same way.
Myra. What a lovely old piece.
Jed's mother gave it to us. It's been in the family for years.
Oh, I've looked all over for something like that. They're very hard to find, real antique.
Mary's got a fella. Mary's got a fella.
Grandpa, you're going too far.
That sure ought to bring it all back to you, Mary. Can't you hear the boys are chanting at us down at the river landing? You see the old willow tree?
Mary's got a fella. Mary's got a fella.
That's enough, Luke and Jed. We was just a-setting. That's enough, Luke and Jed. We was just sitting there in the boat landing. I told you that was enough, Luke.
We was just getting good at it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amos. Now, I'll admit I've been to the boat landing, but I'm sure it wasn't with you.
Yes, you was. And now it comes back to me. I'll prove it to you. I carved our initials on the little dock there. You showed me how to make the letters of your name and my name.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Would you go down there with me tomorrow?
Well,
Grandpa, if Mary was the girl, then I'm sure she'd remember.
I don't need no help with my love affairs.
McCoy.
All right, Amos, I'll go. I'd like to see the old river anyway.
Good. I'll be by for you around noon.
Mary's got a fella. Mary's got a fella.
Oh, hush.
Mary's got a
Honeysuckle and catfish. It's a sweet combination. Now, look, these boards at the dock here is kind of rickety, so you'll have to walk gentle-like. If my memory serves me right, my name's is right along here.
I don't see them.
Well, it's here someplace.
Now, that was a long time ago, Amos. The old boards could have been replaced by a new one.
Oh, no, Mary. This is the same rail. It was a heart with an arrow through it, and our names was on it. God damn it. Darn it. I know they're here someplace.
Amos, it's quite possible that even if they were, they're probably worn out over the years.
Oh, no, Mary. These was cut real deep. With the finest knife made by man. I got it free with a pair of Buster Baker shoes.
You remember that?
Oh, I'll never forget them shoes. It's the first pair I ever had I didn't have to share with my brother's feet. Well, I guess we best get on home.
Why don't we go back by the river? It'll be cooler.
That's a good idea. Say, you don't suppose that some jealous woman cut them out of purpose now, do you?
Now, come on. So with my children living just 20 minutes away, we see each other on Wednesdays and Fridays. So it makes it very nice for all of us.
Yeah. Well, Wednesdays and Fridays is sort of my family nights, too.
Oh, they come to see you?
No, I get away from them. See, them is my checky and bowling nights.
I see. Your hobbies.
Yeah, you should call them bachelor hobbies. Of course, married men spends lots more time to home.
Oh, I think it's getting chilly.
It's getting along toward supper time, too.
You know, time went by so fast I hadn't noticed.
I sure had a nice time.
So did I.
We should have brought us along a parcel of fried chicken and some watermelon. This river air sort of gives you appetites you never heard of. Would have been nice sitting here with a fine lady and a nice chicken with her.
It would have been wonderful.
And it's settled then. We'll have us a picnic tomorrow.
All right.
You bring the chicken and I'll bring the lady.
Grandpa talking marriage? Uncle Jed, you can't be serious.
He sure is.
All he talked about at breakfast was Mary Oates.
I'm sure there's nothing to it. Why, this has happened lots of times in California. Why, he meets different ladies and he gets interested, but nothing ever comes of it. Nobody could ever take the place of Grandma Julie in Grandpa's heart.
Well, it looks to me like he's really been love-stung.
I just hope he don't make a fool of himself.
I think I'll wait for Luke.
Oh, he ate already. He's out in the shed with Amos. They're going through those boxes you all left when you went to California.
Yeah, you know, Kate, Amos may be in the twilight of his years, but he's sure acted like he ain't hardly got through breakfast.
Grandpa, I don't know what you want all this old stuff for anyways. That old phonograph and these old records. You can't take heavy stuff like this home on the plane with us.
It ain't going on the plane. It's going on a boat.
A boat? What boat?
The little old skiff me and Mary found down at Willow Tree Landing. We're going to have ourselves a picnic. She's bringing the fried chicken, and I'm bringing John McCormick.
Grandpa, ain't you a little old for this sort of thing?
Well, you know, Luke, even an old watch runs better if you get it wound up once in a while.
I just hope you don't make an innie out of yourself.
Don't you worry about me. I know what I'm about. Now, come on, help me pick out some good old river court music there.
Oh, here's one here. Bully for You, Colonel Teddy, by the Rough Rider Quartet.
Where is he? Wait a minute now. You get her on. Push that thing.
I swear, Grandpa, if you was wearing a fox terrier suit, you'd make a good ad for that phonograph.
Amos, you're pulling too hard on one arm. We're still going around in a circle.
I'll get it going straight in a minute.
Now, maybe we better have our picnic on shore. You probably haven't done this for a long time.
Mary, you got nothing to fear. I know every inch of this river bottom.
But I don't want to see the bottom.
Uh-oh, Mary Montemayor's running down.
Oh, dear. Amos, be careful.
This water's awful slippery.
Now, as long as you're there, would you mind changing the record? I'm getting a little tired of the merry month of May.
Well, I got another one here. What's it say?
I can't see. You'll have to hold it closer. Oh, my.
It's all right, I got another one here.
I know you've got your heart set on having lunch in the boat, but I'd feel much safer on the shore.
Yeah, well, maybe the dock would be more comfortable. Here. Now, Mary, I'll hold the boat steady while I stoop you on the dock.
Give me your hand, Amos. Help! Help! Amos, the phonograph.
Well, forget it. Maybe it'll pass by some of you who'll enjoy it.
Well, this just goes to show you, Grandpa, you can't do the same things now you did 50 years ago.
We had a wonderful time. Mary enjoyed herself no end.
Well, you're just lucky she didn't fall in the river.
That wouldn't bother that kid none. She's a great sport. We're going to have a lot of fun together when we get to California.
What?
You know, I realize more today just how crazy I am about that girl. I'm going to ask if she'd take me for a groom.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. Oh, you're pulling our legs.
No, I ain't.
I just can't believe it.
Well, it's true. Tomorrow, sniffles or no sniffles. I'm taking her back to the river and I'm going to propose to her.
Well, Grandpa, this is crazy. You just met her 2 days ago.
I know her before you was born. That's when I set the cockles of her heart afire.
Oh, for crying...
It's been smoldering all these years. Now it's just coming back to flame again.
Now, Grandpa, listen to me, please. Don't you understand what's happening? You're living in the past. Coming home, seeing an old girlfriend, the river, them old records. It's like you're awake but dreaming.
Grandpa, you're acting just like some kind of a kid.
And that's what I feel like, too. And this romance, it does it for you. Now, go on, get out of here and leave me be. I want to get rid of this cold before I propose. I wonder if this is count as a bath.
Oh, Amos, I'm afraid you're coming down with a cold. Maybe we should have stayed at Jed's house.
No. What I've got to say is for your ears alone. Now, you come on over there at the dock. Here now. This looks like a good spot. It looks like a most perfect place.
For what, Amos?
You know, to ask you what I'm going to ask you.
Well, now, Amos, before you say anything...
Now, look, I know I'm sweeping you off your feet, but I want you to stay steady so as I can do this right. You should get down on my knee, but she sometimes locks on me. So I'll just heist you up on the rail.
Oh, Amos! Now, look, there's a nice bench over there. Now, wouldn't it be better...
That's all right. I can do it. Just give me a minute to grit my teeth.
Come on. You hurt yourself.
Now, Mary...
Now, Amos, I think I know what you're going to say, and it's only fair to tell you how I feel.
Now, look, don't say nothing. I finish. Here, I'll fix that. Right there, move out the bench. Look, there's a heart with the arrow through it. Amos and Mary. That ought to bring it all back to you. Now you remember how crazy it was about me and how crazy it was about you?
Amos, dear, sweet Amos. You weren't crazy about me.
Oh, well, read it.
I did. It says Amos and Julie.
Julie?
The girl you married.
Julie. Of course it was Julie. It was Julie's paw that liked ours. Julie. It was Julie all the time. It was Julie by the willow tree and in the boat. It was Julie hanging onto a big blue straw hat for dear life whilst I showed my muscles rowing the boat. Of course it was Julie. Mary, I guess there never could have been nobody else for me but her.
I've known that all along, Amos. But it was still a wonderful week, even if I was the wrong girl.
Yeah, well, it's nice of you to understand. Well, it's still a nice day. And the river's smooth. And somebody raised the boat. Let's just take a ride downstream.
Oh, no. You don't get me in that boat again, Amos McCoy.
Oh, come on. I'm going to need someone to row whilst I look for the Grammy folk.
Grandpa, you better hurry up. The movie starts at 8 o'clock prompt.
I know it. Goddamn thing.
What's the matter? You lose something?
No, I didn't lose nothing. Somebody moved it.
Move what?
My genuine collar button, my genuine hand-carved one. I set it right here on the table.
Well, maybe you put it someplace else and just forgot.
I did nothing of the kind. I remember taking it out of the old shirt and setting it right down there, and somebody took it. God darn it. Now, there it is. Right there. You laid your handkerchief across it.
Well, I didn't see that. Guess my eyes ain't quite as sharp as yours.
Yes, sir. Don't go fooling around with a memory like mine. Well, come on, let's get going. Don't want to be late.
Were you all set?
Yeah.
You better put these on in the car.
Good idea.
From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Luke, Grandpa,
Sure, babe.
come help me with these packages.
Yeah, what you got there?
Oh, I got some paint and some brushes for Grandpa.
That's fine. I'll take them right here.
And I got some cloth and soap and things like that.
Huh?
And guess who I ran into in town?
Well, I ain't got the faintest idea.
Alice Carter. You remember I met her through the Ladies Auxiliary? She's president.
Sure,
Well, guess what? She invited us to her house for supper tonight.
For supper?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, I don't feel like going out tonight.
Oh, Luke, I know you have a wonderful time, and I'm sure you'll enjoy meeting her husband, Charlie.
Yeah, well, I was figuring on just kind of staying around the house tonight and taking things easy.
But we always do that. We should get out and socialize a bit more.
But she's right, Luke. We should get out and mix in and do a little socializing. Get a free meal now and then. We can take along the chicken board, and I'll carry my harmonica.
Grandpa, just Luke and me was invited.
Oh.
But I'm sure you'll be asked next time.
Why don't we all make it next time? Call them and tell them we can't come over.
I'll do no such thing. Now, I'm going to go on inside and start getting ready.
Well, I ain't going to get dressed up.
Yes, you are.
Well, I ain't going to wear no coat and tie.
Yes, you are, and you're going to have a wonderful time.
That was sure funny. And then what happened?
Well, then I finally got Charlie to give up the idea of playing professional football and settle down in the insurance business.
Well, you miss all the rah-rah for a while, but then you can only get the old nose busted just so many times, you know.
I guess you're right.
Another piece of pie, Luke?
No thanks, Alice. Tell you, I think I better quit. Everything's starting to go black.
Why don't you make yourselves comfortable over on the couch, and I'll bring in the coffee.
I'll help Alice with the tray.
Yeah, fine and dandy. Oh, that Alice and Charlie. They're two fine people.
I told you we'd have a wonderful time.
Wasn't that a marvelous supper?
Mm-hmm.
You know, them little chunks of meat sitting there on top of them piles of rice, all that soppy gravy, it's called beef stroganoff.
How do you know?
Well, I seen a picture of it once in one of them food magazines. I mean, you got to be pretty tricky with a skillet to turn out a meal like that.
I thought you always said I was the best cook in the world.
Oh, well, sugar babe, when it comes to plain cooking, ain't nobody finer than you. But that's different. You see, that's Europe eating.
Well, maybe I don't cook just like that, but...
Well, here we go.
It's Italian espresso. I hope you like it.
Italian, huh? Yeah. Well, don't that smell wonderful? We don't never get nothing like this at home, do we, Kate? Oh, here, let me get that for you, Alice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm so happy you could come tonight, Kate.
Well, thank you.
I've been wanting to talk to you about the... Use one of those ashtrays, Luke.
One of the... Was that an ashtray? Well, I thought that was some kind of expensive candy plate.
That's ceramic, Luke. Alice makes them herself.
You mean you make these gorgeous things?
Well, yes, I do quite a bit of work in ceramics.
Did you hear that, sugar babe?
Yes, I did. It's amazing. They sure are beautiful.
Take a look at that painting. That's one of Alice's.
No, you're kidding. You're a painter, too? Well, now, look at there. Look, you there. Oh, ain't that the prettiest thing you've ever seen?
Yes, it is pretty.
Well, you got to be a genuine artist to paint something like that. You must be a genius, Alice.
I wouldn't say that. Would you like some more coffee?
No, thank you.
Well, I sure would. It's wonderful coffee you make.
She made the pot, too.
Well, I'll be.
Excuse me.
You know, when Kate told me we was going to come over here tonight, well, naturally I was looking forward to it, but I had no idea it'd be such an interesting evening.
Yes, Mr. Johnston. Oh, well, fine. I'm glad you've decided to purchase the property. Oh, I'm sure you won't regret it.
Now,
Just drop
wait
by
a
my
minute,
office
Charlie.
tomorrow
You mean that this wife of yours works and brings in money, too?
That's right.
Well, now, ain't that a kick in the head?
Could be.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnston. I can't make it at 10. I'm head of the community charities, and we're having a meeting then. How about 11:30? We'll talk. I'll see you then.
Alice, are you sure you ain't twins?
What?
Well, I don't see how one person can do all the things that you do. How in the world do you find the time?
It's just a matter of organization.
Yeah, she's a little organizer, all right.
Luke, it's getting kind of late. I think we best go home.
Oh, it ain't so late. The evening's still young.
Well, to tell you the truth, I've got a little bit of a headache.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's too bad, sugar babe.
Well, I think the fresh air do me so good, and the drive home should help.
Well, I can't remember the last time you had a headache. I wonder what it could be from.
Oh, it could be any number of things. Too much sun, eye strain, an allergy. Maybe you're allergic to something, Kate.
Maybe I am.
Well, we sure hate to leave, but we had a wonderful evening. Nice meeting you, Charlie, and awful nice to meet you, Alice. We'll be getting together real soon. Maybe over at our place. Kate, you got no call to carry on like this. All I said was that Alice was right.
Have a nice time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I had a good time.
Need to holler, Luke. I can hear you. Where's Kate at?
Oh, she, slammed herself in the bedroom. She won't talk to me.
Why not?
She got herself all riled up about Alice Carter.
You weren't making goo-goo eyes at this here Alice, was she?
Of course not.
Was she making goo-goo eyes at you?
Grandpa, I tell you, there's just no reason for Kate to be so riled up. All I did was, we just sitting there talking, and I was telling Alice how good she was at doing things. I tell you, it's just hard to believe, Grandpa. Well, you know that girl oil paints. She makes ceramic things. She's head of a charity drive. She sells real estate. What? She even brings home money.
Yeah, and I suppose you spent the whole god-darned evening complimenting her and telling her how great she was.
Well, no. No, not the whole evening.
What's the matter with you, boy? Don't you know that it's bad business for a husband to go flattering other women, especially while his wife's around?
But I tried to apologize.
What'd you say? I'm sorry I said all them nice things about Alice, sugar babe. The only reason I didn't say some nice things about you is because I couldn't think of no nice things to say.
No, of course I didn't say nothing like that.
And what did you say about Kate then? It was nice.
Well, I didn't say nothing. I was trying to explain about Alice.
Luke, it's about time you learned something about women. First off, you just don't go around pointing out the things they can't do. You try to leave them know that you appreciate the things they can do. It's the only way to make them act like human beings.
Well, you got a point there.
Yes, now, I think the best thing for you to do is just figure you come to the end of an unperfect day and leave this gold till tomorrow. Me and you'll take care of Kate in the morning.
All right, Grandpa.
Well, come on now. Now, I'll help you make up the couch. Well, morning, Kate.
Morning, Grandpa.
Hi, sugar babe.
Hi.
Well, looky there, Luke. Look at that. Look at the way Kate has set that table. Now, ain't that just the most beautiful thing you ever seen?
Well, ain't nobody can set a table like Kate. I tell you, Grandpa, it just perks a man up in the morning to come in and just see a table set like that.
Sure do, Luke. It sure do.
Why, Grandpa, it takes a real knack to set these things up just right. Well, look at that fork sitting there pretty like, and that knife, and that shiny little spoon.
And look at that orange juice. Just a sitting there waiting to be drinked.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, good morning, Peppino. Good morning. Well, Grandpa, will you look at them eggs? A real work of art.
That they is, Luke. That they is.
To me, they look like just eggs.
Just eggs? You got the gall to sit there and say they look like just eggs? Now look at how fluffy they is. And look at the yolks are look like that. Look at them, boy. Look at them.
I'm looking, but they still look like just eggs. Oh, Senora Kate. A button came off my shirt. Could you sew it on for me, please?
Could she sew it on? Now you're talking to the best button sewer on the years.
Oh, you're so right, Grandpa. You're so right. Peppino, look at this button here that she sewed on for me. Look how perfect that sits there in the hole.
They're right, Peppino. I'm a genius at sewing on buttons. And you know why? Because I took a course in button sewing at the university. Of course, that was after I graduated from orange squeezing and egg cooking.
Now, sugar babe, I was just trying to tell you that...
She was just treating me like a child to make up for the way you acted last night.
Now, sugar babe, I'm sorry I made such a to-do about all them things that Alice does so wonderful.
There's nothing wrong with telling a woman that she can do things when she can do them.
Well, yeah, that's just the point, yeah, because some people got a real talent for doing stuff like that, but some don't.
Oh, so now I don't have any talent, huh?
No, that's not what I meant, sugar babe.
Oh, I know just what you meant. You got it all figured out about me, haven't you? Well, I've got it figured out different.
What did I do now?
Just take your foot out of your mouth and eat your eggs. Hey, look. Kate must be feeling better. She's getting ready to bake a cake.
And that icing looks mighty tempting.
Oh, hold it. My turn to lick the spoon.
Oh, Grandpa, you look like you just tasted hog slop.
I wish I could swallow some hog slop to get rid of the taste of just gut.
Grandpa, you just ate yourself a glob of ceramics.
What's that, one of them new instant recipes?
It's clay for making things. Well, it looks like maybe Kate's going to try to make bowls like Alice makes.
Well, we might not get nothing to eat, but we'll have plenty of things to eat nothing out of.
Fine. Then I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for calling back. Bye.
Well, you're going in for making ceramics, huh?
Why? Don't you think I can do it?
Well, sure I do, and I think you'll do a good job, too.
What's that over there?
What's it look like? It's an easel with the canvas on it. I'm starting to take an art course. I'm going to do a little painting.
Painting, too?
You going to have time for all these things, Kate?
Well, I don't know why not. My job at the knit shop's only for 2 hours in the afternoon.
You didn't need to get a job.
Well, I know I didn't. I just wanted to. I plan to do a lot of things. You're going to be surprised to find out what a talented woman you married.
Grandpa, I don't think I like Kate trying to do all these things.
Well, it's like I always said, Luke. The only trouble with building a fire under a mule is you don't know how goddamn far the critter's going to run. Say, Kate, I hope you got my pants patched. I done tore the pocket half off of these.
I haven't got around to it yet, Grandpa.
You ain't?
Well, haven't you done the breakfast and lunch dishes yet?
Well, I've just had so much to do, I haven't got around to it, but I plan to do them right now, and I'm going to patch your pants, Grandpa, while supper's cooking.
Supper? We're going to have supper.
What are we going to have?
A roast.
A roast? You hear that, boy? You're going to have a roast.
I better see how it's doing. I put my ceramic bowl in there to harden, and I forgot all about the roast. I've just had so much everything.
Just take it easy, sugar babe. Well, anybody can cook a roast, but that ceramic, why, that's beautiful. Well, just look how nice that turned out.
That's the third one that fell apart. I've just been doing so many things. I guess I put too much water in the mixture.
Well, I could have told her that when I tasted it.
I just wanted you to be so proud of me.
But I've always been proud of you, just the way you was. What you got to do is stop trying to be like that Alice Carter.
Well, if she can do all them things, then why can't I?
Well, I don't know, and I don't care. Look, just because I said some nice things about Alice doesn't mean that I want you to be like her.
If you're saying that to make me feel good, don't bother.
Hiya.
Howdy.
I'm Charlie Carter.
Well, pleased to make your acquaintance.
You know exactly what you want.
You do the cooking?
Every night. I enjoy it. Besides, my wife, Alice, is very busy.
Say, Charlie, could I show you around the farm a bit, and we could have a little talk and maybe get a little better acquainted?
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. McCoy, but we'll have to make it some other time. I've got to get back and clean up the house before Alice gets home.
House, too?
Yeah. Sometimes it don't seem like there's enough hours in the day.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, I'll have Kate bring the money over just as soon as she gets back home.
Oh, well, that'll be fine, Mr. McCoy. It was nice meeting you, too.
Nice to meet you, too.
I hope we see each other again real soon.
We will. We will.
Bye.
Yes, sir. We'll sure be seeing you.
I'll only be a minute, Grandpa.
I'll go in, too.
Well, you don't have to.
I want it. I want this Alice Carter to meet me so as I can be charming for a few minutes. Next time she whips up a supper, maybe I'll be invited, too.
All right, come ahead.
Come on, Luke.
I'll just wait in the car.
You can't do this, Luke. Where's you bringing up? Let your wife present me to a strange woman whilst you sit on your hip pockets out here in the car. Now, come on.
All right. I'm coming.
Come in.
Hi, Johnny.
Well, glad to see you.
Hello,
Howdy,
Charlie.
Nice to see you. Well, say, I hope you'll excuse the way the house looks. I've got a little behind in my work.
Oh, think nothing of it. Everybody gets behind once in a while, especially housework. Housework gets to be somewhat of a full-time job, don't it, Charles?
Say that again. Here, let me clear a little place away here. I've been just sorting the laundry.
Oh, we can't stay, Charlie. Kate just dropped by to leave a collection. Didn't you, Kate?
Oh, yes.
Well, just put it there on the dining room table, any place, Kate. I got my hands full here.
You sure have. He's a busy fella. Sorting the laundry and doing the marketing and cleaning up. He sure is a busy fella, ain't he, Luke?
Yes, sir. He sure is.
Say, I'd sort of like to meet that there wife of yours. Where's she at?
Oh, well, she's at her ceramics class. Then she has this client she has to see about a house. Oh, she won't be home until around 7.
7?
Yeah.
Is she that late every night?
Oh, no. Sometimes earlier. Sometimes later.
It'd be kind of hard planning the meals, ain't it?
Oh, no. I'm used to it. Oh, excuse me. I've got to see how my chicken cacciatore's doing. Be right back.
He sure is spick and span housekeeper, ain't he?
You know, Grandpa, I think maybe the reason that Kate ain't been able to do all the things that she's been trying to do is because we just ain't been pitching in to help her.
Well, glory be, Luke. I believe you hit the nail right on the head. Now, if Kate's going to be more like Alice, well, we just got to be more like Charlie.
Right. Well, let's see now. I'll do the sweeping and the scrubbing.
Mm-hmm. I can do the mending and the ironing.
Yeah, but I'll take care of the laundry sorting.
And I can do the marketing. Say, how about the cooking?
We'll take turns.
Fair enough. I tell you what we do. We get measured up for aprons the first thing in the morning.
I can hardly wait. You know, I think an apron would do something for me.
Yeah.
Well, the cacciatore is beautiful, and I just put a pot of water on for tea. You'll all have a cup, won't you?
Oh, no, thanks, Charlie. I think we'd best be going home.
Oh, you sure you can't stay a little while?
Oh, no, you're busy, and I got a lot of straightening out to do at home myself.
Well, all right.
Bye.
Goodbye. So long, Charlie. Good to see you. Come by anytime.
That's for being the best grandpa in the world. And that's for being the best husband. And since we're so close to town, we can stop in the Bon-Ton shop and pick up a couple of aprons. Well, now that I'm going back to being a full-time housewife, I'll be needing them.